All righty. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Ron, the 1/3 of TMC, coming at you live on another Tuesday night. And for those who know, for those who don't know, excuse me, we are the Melanated Council. Typically, we try to go live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then wherever else you're at in the world, you can catch us there. As always, please like, subscribe, share, enjoy the show, all that other good jazz. Please do it. Please do it. Please do it. Because without you guys, we wouldn't be here. Okay. So, got to get that out the way and make sure we plug it in because, we like to do what we like to do. Um, that's why. Got it. Okay. So, never mind that. Even though we can't even, see the folks over there. Anyways, but oh my goodness, what is going on with you guys? I mean, I know a lot has happened. Excuse me, excuse me. Pardon me for my yawning, because right now your boy going through some issues right about now. Going through some issues, going through some changes, and your boy tired. Your boy is tired, and so hmm. Interesting. Anyways, my bad, y'all. So, yeah, over here, we're going to get this show on the road. We're going to lock and load. We're going to do everything possible as what we do here. And yeah, that's really it. That is really it. That is all that we're going to do on today. And then maybe, I don't know, um, do some other stuff. Who knows? I don't know for sure. I really don't know for sure, but I'm happy that you guys are here. I'm happy that you guys are with us. I'm happy that everybody is having a good day. And I know as we get closer and closer and closer, let's see, chat. Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just tired. I'm tired, Chad. I'm not going to front. I am tired. The last few nights, I have not been sleeping well at all. Been sleeping like dog doodle. I've been sleeping like dog doodle. And even then, the last past week and a half, I've been sick off and on. Mm, kind of. Kind of. It's a little twist to it. It's a little twist to it. So, you know, Gibbs, just thank you for thank you for stopping in and dropping by. But kind of the same topic, kind of not the same topic. It's a little different. Like I said, it's a little different. It's a little different. But going back for a little bit. I know me personally, I've been fighting this cold for like it's probably been going on 2 weeks now. It's going on 2 weeks now. Hey, what's happening, Rocky? Dude, I've been drinking tea nonstop. Been drinking a lot of tea. Drinking a lot of tea. Drinking a lot of tea, a lot of honey, a lot of peppermint tea with honey, a lot of vitamins, not vitamin C. Been doing a lot of immunity, or no, not immunity, emergency. I've been drinking that. I've been doing a lot. I've been doing a lot. And it's like, I'm starting to feel better. Like my voice is a little better, but at the same time, you can still kind of hear the crackle in it. Whereas like it's coming in, but at the same time, it's also going out. So I'm in this weird, funky, irritating stage where it's like I know I'm getting better, but at the same time, my body is like, you're still not out of the woods yet. You still got some ways to go. So I'm like, okay, So been trying to take it easy for the last past few days, last past week. Hey, the same rules apply. The same rules apply because we're gonna talk about all of that. We're gonna talk about cookouts. We're gonna talk about dinner parties. We're gonna talk about excuse me, if you get invited over to dinner in general, where there's like, right, right, exactly, Chad, exactly. Exactly. It's like I'm sick, but not enough for people to start feeling bad for me. That's exactly where I'm at. I'm in that weird middle gap. See, you know me, Chad. We know each other, Chad. Yes, this is true. This is true. This is so true. And like I was saying before, like my sleep pattern for the last past week and a half, it's been off. And I've been talking to a lot of people, especially at my job, because work in the school system, work in the school building. A lot of the teachers are saying the same thing, where it's like their sleep pattern is off, where it's like they'll go to bed at like 8, 9, 10, because they're teachers and they're trying to get ready. And for some reason, between those hours and then waking up, it's like as if their body is not getting enough rest. And so when they wake up in the morning, it's like, crap, why am I up? Why do I have to be up at such an early time? Like, I don't really want to go to work. And it's like their day is struggling and they're struggling and they're trying to kind of like perk up. But even then, by the end of the school day is like, well, we got like an hour and a half left to work, hour and a half left to school. Is like, you know what? Just, I'm done with it. And then go home, and basically the cycle is on repeat. I think our girl Elle called it a life loop. And so it is what it is. That's where we're at. But before we move on, before we go any further in our stream, yes, I'm going to say this too. Adulting sucks. Adulting sucks. But we got to be responsible. But adulting sucks. So before we go any further, we got somebody really special who done showed up. This man is known for hosting parties. This man has had women come over and cook dinners for this man, and he ain't had to do a thing. I mean, he probably had to maybe scrub some dishes here and there, but other than that, this man that had to do nothing. He's also known as Mr. Steal Your Girl, Give Her Back, Steal Her Girl, Give Her Back, and Steal Your Girl again, just so she could cook me dinner, and that's it. Y'all know him. Y'all love him. Y'all go ahead and show some love for the homie Toby. Woo, woo, woo.
What's up? What's up, everybody? I am a little bit mobile because my computer was doing best, which is acting up. I'm also not home, or sorry, I am home, but I'm in Maryland instead of my Massachusetts apartment because I got home yesterday. I rode with a good friend of mine. Actually, you might see her in the chat, my friend D.
D, let's go,
Deanna.
D.
So we rode to Maryland. So that was super cool, and much appreciation to you. Thankful for you, Deanna, if you're watching this. So in any case, it was a 7+ hour trip from Boston-ish to get to Maryland, but it was a great trip. I came like early Monday, probably arrived around like 11 something. And so I've been home, and I don't know when I'm coming back because I don't have a flight back to Boston. But we'll figure that out when I figure it out. All you need to know is right now I am home, aka the house I've lived in since I was in like high school, which was like back in 2009. My parents' house, and we outshare. Maybe, possibly, we will have my computer back up and running in some reasonable time, but we will see if that happens. Toby's on the run. The Wi-Fi connection is better. Well, yeah, I mean, that's also partly because whenever my computer is plugged in and charging, at least when it's like struggling, like when it's low power and it's plugged in and it's refusing to charge, so it's like draining up it's like kind of draining while charging. It'll be like in a super laggy state. If I don't keep it plugged in, it's fine, but then they'll die.
Right.
So that's really, I don't know why my computer does that, and it's only been like a recent problem from what I can remember.
Right.
So if I don't remember to keep it plugged in, which I didn't remember to take it out of my backpack after traveling to charge it, and it was dead. So if I don't remember to plug it in, then I get that problem. So it's less of a Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi has had problems. It's actually been acting up a lot. Xfinity has been like acting up a lot. It'll just like disconnect randomly, and then I have to reconnect it, and it's actually kind of absurd. It's been doing it like almost every day, I feel like. So, but no, it's great to see people. Gift Shinobi, I saw you. Good to see you again. I think you asked Ron. You may have already addressed this, whether it's the same topic, but it's a related topic. But instead of talking about, I think 2 weeks ago we were like the etiquette of eating out, and then last week was kind of like the gender narrative of like who is supposed to take care of the food and the cleaning. Today's a little more general for like general etiquette of, how should you present yourself. I mean, we'll get into it once we all kind of do a round table, but the kind of general, like, how do you present yourself when it comes to hosting a dinner party? And actually, Rocky, you mentioned cookouts. Cookouts, I think, can fall into this because you're still hosting food at your event. So potlucks, friendsgivings, dinner parties, cookouts, housewarmings, anything you can think of where people are eating in instead of dining out. Yeah. But give me one quick second as I check something.
No, you're good. You're good. Because I'm going to actually answer Rocky's question. Because I think this is a good one. I think this is a good question. I know for me in my childhood, like whenever I did get sick, and it wasn't often that I got sick. But when I did, I would probably stay home for like a day or two. And even then, by like the second day, I was feeling better to the point where, one, I wasn't contagious to my classmates. Two, I was able to kind of like function and get out the house. And then for three, I didn't want to be at home. I wanted to be at school because home was home. It's like, man, home sucks. I want to go home. I want to play with my friends and everything else. But that was me. I think now, especially like after COVID, and then again, this is just me. I find myself getting sicker more often and longer. I find myself getting sicker more often and going through the sickness and the illness longer than anything else. And even my wife, even she's mentioned it because she knows I'm one of the few people in the household next to my daughter who very, very seldomly get sick. And when I do get sick, it's like it lasts a lot longer than anything else. Let's see. Avoid. Yeah. And even then, because even with the, because like, okay, case in point, even though yes, I got a monster here. When and again, I'm not at home. So again, case in point, when I'm at school, when I'm working at school, I typically have my big 1 gallon water jug, typically. And I drink on that the whole entire time I'm at school, the whole entire time while I'm at home. That's pretty much all I'm drinking is just nonstop water. And especially if I don't drink a Monster and I drink like coffee. True. And again, true. And I drink coffee, I normally flush that out with water. And so I'm always drinking water. Even when I was in Texas 2 weeks ago for my sister's wedding and whatnot, that was pretty much all I was doing was drinking nonstop water. Sure, I had my soda here and there. Sure, I might have had like a Monster here and there, but every chance I got, it was, okay, where's the water? Let me get some water. Let me flush everything out. Let me get some water, flush everything out. It wasn't until I got back to Michigan especially with the weather change here in Michigan. That's when I got hit. So that was about last week, early last week. In that whole time frame last week, it was like, dang, why am I feeling this way? But at the same time, I wasn't true. No, I don't. I mean, I get it too. And again, that's true. That's a very true statement. Like drinking milk is the worst thing. But then again, I can't drink normal milk anyways because my butt and body it can't handle it anymore. It cannot handle drinking milk anymore. I can eat cheese just fine. I can eat. I probably might be able to get away with eating yogurt. I might be able to get away with eating yogurt, but drinking milk, oh no, I'm straight gassy. So my alternative to milk, I've been drinking almond milk, and that's been a lot. Might be, I might be, but like I said, it's only when I drink milk. When I eat cheese, I'm okay. When I eat cheese, I'm okay. When I eat yogurt, it's kind of when I eat yogurt, yogurt is hit and miss. Yogurt is definitely hit and miss. But drinking milk, no, that messes up my stomach way too much. Like, nah, can't do it. Can't do it. So I just know for the most part, I've been doing a lot more, drinking a lot more water. And like I said before, I've been drinking a lot more teas because I'm trying to get everything flushed out. But even then, the secretary who was sick before I left, and she was terrible. She sounded terrible. Even though she's not sick anymore, she still has like the cough that's pretty much associated with whatever's been going around, especially in my area. It's been going around a lot. And so I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, just saying, just saying. I like my almond milk. And even then, like I didn't start drinking almond milk until about 4 or 5 years ago, actually. So this is just recently, about 4 or 5 years ago. Let's see. This one's the zero. This one is yes. Well, because even there for excuse me. Yes, because even then, my wife, when she knows that I'm getting sick and whatnot, she does make like a lot of food that has like chilies, garlic, pepper, a lot of the spicy stuff that kind of gets in there and clears everybody up. So she's known for doing that. This one is the zero sugar, but again, we quote unquote zero sugar. This is the zero sugar one. This is the zero sugar one. And so it doesn't have like all the additive sugars like the normal monsters would have. This one's zero sugar, which is okay. Almond water, haven't tried it yet. I'm pretty sure it's out there. I have tried coconut water. Coconut water is delicious. Oh, yes. You give me coconut water, I'm smashing that bad boy. Don't care. I'm smashing coconut water. Yes, that is delicious. um, I mean, I get what you're saying. I know my wife, whenever she can't get like her regular almond coffee creamers because she likes coffee creamers. I don't. I hate coffee creamers. I drink my coffee black, no cream, no sugar, just straight black. If she can't get her almond coffee creamers, she does go down to the oat milk coffee creamers, and that works just as well. That's what you meant. Okay. I mean, you call it nut milk. I'm not even going. I'm not. I can't even look at it the same no more. I can't look at that now. When I pour my milk and my cereal and I get to eating it, I'm gonna just have that in my brain. Nut milk. I'm telling you, black all day. And see, my dad, what he used to do when he drank coffee would be he would drink his coffee black, no creamer, but he would add 3 scoops of sugar in his coffee and stir it up, and that's the way how he drunk it. I tried it once. I nearly threw up. I'm like, no, ew, no. Man, listen, you missing out on that coconut water. You missing out.
So the funny thing is, I actually got coconut water from my job. Like, there's different drinks you can get from my job, in the like little cafe area. And so there were these two different, was it like Vita something? I got
Uh-huh.
these different coconut waters, but I haven't drank them yet. I just kind of put them in my fridge and kept meaning to drink them. So I oftentimes drink them when I get back, but they're unopened, so they'll be fine. In fact, you don't even have to put them in the fridge. You can just kind of leave them out. But I just put them in the fridge to be safe. Practicing better food habits, right? um, so I'm gonna definitely try those coconut waters and let you know how I like them. So is my computer gonna be? Oh no, this thing is gonna forever be messing up. Crap.
That's interesting. That is interesting. Yeah. Oh, speaking of, yes. Hold on. So the trip I took, so the trip that me and the family took down to the Dominican Republic to visit my grandfather-in-law. Monster milk. If they make, I don't know, man. If they make monster milk, I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna be a little weird. It's gonna be a little weird. That's gonna be a little weird.
You need some milk. That really does work in that case.
Yeah.
Juice.
And so what he did was he bought everybody like fresh coconuts from the island. And he had a guy basically cut it open and everything else. And what ended up happening, and of course it got straws. Like, you could drink it from the coconut itself or use the straw. I took the straw out, like, no, I'm gonna drink this thing straight out of the coconut. Best thing ever. I'm like, oh, this is what real coconut tastes like. Like, yes. And so my crazy tale, being the improviser out the whole entire family, I stuck mine in the freezer. Didn't think that it was going to freeze, but it did. Well, I thought it was going to freeze, but it didn't. So when I took it out, it was so good. It tasted better cold. And I drunk on it, and I gave it to the wife. She said, I was like, huh, taste this. She said, wait, what did you do with it? Like, I put it in the freezer. But then it got transferred out. I took it up the freezer because it didn't want to get frozen, put it in the refrigerator, and it was still cold. It tasted delicious. And she said, word. I'm like, dude, yes. So every time we got coconuts, we put it straight in the refrigerator and just let it get chilled. And then once we got done, I was pretty much eating the flesh of it on the inside. Oh, delicious. It was in heaven.
I've never had that, like, where you always see in cartoons where the straws inside the coconut. I've never had that kind of. I think I've tried it with an orange before, and I was like, this isn't really working. But I've definitely never done it in the coconut.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting to try. Like, I'm not sure if I've had fresh coconut water though. Like, and I don't know if I was ever really a fan when I had like those little coconut water type drinks. But I don't know. I have to like remember because they usually have like these little cube like pieces in them, almost like pulp. Like you have those little cube like chunks inside of the coconut, inside of the drink. I have to remember which one I had, but I remember seeing it where it's like you have all those cube like chunks. I don't know. I just wasn't a fan of the flavor, but I don't remember when I had it.
Right. Right. But then again, knowing me, I don't like like my water being frozen. I don't. I don't like anything being frozen like that I could drink. I really don't. I have a. It's not my personal preference. I'll put it like that. It's not my personal preference. It's not my personal preference. But again, like I said before, like I didn't leave it in there long enough for it to get frozen, but just enough to kind of drop the temperature. And then put it in the freezer, put it in the refrigerator to kind of keep it at that nice chilled, the nice little chilled space. So it was cool. It was all cool. Where's Bill Nye the Size Guy when you need him? Probably handling world crises all over the place and actually trying to make sense of the world because somehow, some way, science just took a huge nosedive. Who knows? Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds good. They may be on to something. Oh yeah, I wanted a little chill. Not and again, like if excuse me, if I got let's just say I want to drink some soda, If I got some soda, I don't put it in the freezer. That's my wife. She puts it in the freezer. She forgets that it's in the freezer and it gets frozen. Me, I'm like, no, I don't want it in the freezer. I want it in the refrigerator because at least if it's in the refrigerator, it's going to get cold, but not freeze. But put it in the freezer and forget about it, it's going to freeze. I don't like that because a lot of the stuff separates. Like, no, I want my stuff together. I want them to be together just so I can have that nice, enjoyable taste. And so when I put it in the refrigerator, it's like, yes, it takes the edge off. It just sends shivers through my body because I know it's cold. I'm just weird like that. But then again, at the same time, I hate being cold. So it's like, okay, you hate being cold, but you like cold drinks. Like, yep, I'm that weird one. I am that weird guy. Like, yes, I hate being cold, but if you give me a cold drink, I'll probably drink it and get cold and hate myself for drinking it because I hate being cold. So yes, that's me. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. So I think Toby is readjusting, I think, and I know that L will be coming on sooner than later or later than sooner, whatever the case may be, whatever. She's coming on. So basically, I'm going to hold down the fort until everybody else shows up. So before we get on to this topic, and excuse me, and as we're waiting on everybody else to show up, question for you guys that's still here. Dude, yes. 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 The only reason why I am here in Michigan is just due to the fact I got family. I know. Trust me. I know. I get it. I get it. I get it. The reason why I moved back to Michigan was because of my family. Other than that, I would have thoroughly enjoyed myself being in Colorado. I would have enjoyed myself being in Colorado because when it comes to like the coldness, it's like, yeah, it gets cold, but it doesn't get as cold as in Michigan. Even though, yes, Colorado is higher in elevation, because of the fact that the sun is out a lot more than what's out here in Michigan, the temperature itself is typically warmer. And even then, when we were living in Colorado Springs, we were living in the desert, well, the valley part of the desert, where that too. We'll roll with that. That too. I'm not trying to get fined, that's all. Secretly, I'm not trying to get fined. But anyway, anyways, anyways, when I was living in Colorado, when we were living in Colorado Springs, like that first winter we had, it snowed, it got cold. By 11 o'clock, we were shedding. True. But even then, it gets 4 seasons in one day. True story. 4 seasons in one day. True story. So the first winter that we had, we came in, and again, we're just from college. We're just from Michigan. Just came in from Michigan. We're thinking, oh, it's December, it's snow on the ground and whatnot. Okay, whatever. We're gonna bundle it up. So we got like thick winter jackets on, hoodies, long sleeves, everything you name it to stay warm. We're walking up the hill to go to the library. By the time we make it up the hill, we're peeling off the jackets and the hoodies because it was that hot. Mind you, it's in the middle of December. It was that hot. We're like, holy crap. And even then, we were literally watching the snow melt as we're walking to the library. First winter in right? First, and again, the first winter in Colorado, it flipped our wig. And even then, the winters after that, there were times where I will walk outside. It's 67 degrees. I'm outside in shorts and a t-shirt, and everybody back home in Michigan, they're in a blizzard. I'm like, yeah, we got a green Christmas. It's 67 degrees. It feels beautiful. It's nice out. 1 week later, dumped with snow. And then I'll share this last story. And my other homie, she just showed up. Woo, woo, woo. I can't wait to introduce her. So, so literally at work. And I'm like, it started off as a nice, bright, sunny day. Not a cloud in the sky. I can't make this up. Like 30 minutes later, out of nowhere, it starts pouring rain, thunder, lightning, everything. Okay. After the rain came through, it started snowing in the same day, like the same time frame. It started snowing, like not just no little snow, like thick, heavy snow. It snowed right there. And I'm sitting there at my job watching this happen. I'm like, holy crap, like this is actually happening. After the snow came, then it went back to raining again. And after that, it shot back up to like 75 degrees with a rainbow. I'm like, what just happened? Like, this should not be happening. This weather phenomenon should not be happening. Like, no, there's no way it should rain, snow, rain, and shoot back up to 75 degrees all in one day. Ain't no way. And even the locals came in like, oh, you're not from around here. Like, heck no, I'm from Michigan. It's like, oh, well, you're going to get used to this all day, every day. This happens all the time. You get used to it. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. It's like, okay, whatever. But every now and then, as I was watching TV, I would see like the Pure Michigan commercials come on. I'm like, wow, like that's crazy. Yes, Rocky. What in tarnation? That was my word for that first full year in Colorado Springs. First word, like what in tarnation? Couldn't explain it. Could not explain it. And even then, explaining it to my family back at home, they're like, does that really happen? Like, it really did happen. Like, I kid you not. But I'm gonna put a pause there because we got somebody very special. We got somebody that is very near and dear to our hearts. She is the type of woman you would like to have in your friends group, in your circle group, and it just to be that person who's going to not only piss you off, but piss you off in a way where you actually got to think about yourself, because now you're like, well, dang, she told me about myself without telling me about myself. But at the same time, she did it so I can improve myself. Like, holy crap, how did that happen? And even then, she is such a bundle of joy, and she will probably 9 times out of 10 kick your butt in. She will kick your butt in Super Smash Brothers with all the characters. Doesn't matter who you get. She's gonna get somebody who's gonna kick your butt. Y'all know her. Y'all love her. Y'all support her because if y'all ain't catch that this recent podcast, ooh, y'all better catch that one. Fire. Y'all go ahead and give it up to the homegirl.
Hey. Oh my goodness, Ron, I love your intro.
Listen, I'm about to lose my voice all over again. I don't care. While I still got it, I'm going to still use it.
Okay, I feel that. No, thank you so much. And yeah, no, thanks, for being such an awesome supporter of my podcast. I mean, you guys haven't listened to it. You can listen to it. You can check it out. I meant to share the episode in the Discord for I think it was called personal projects. It was a channel I created, but keep forgetting about it.
I mean, she does live in the swamps, and swamps have gators, so it's not hard. No. Just strap some bacon around it, and it's all good. Not saying from experience, not saying that it has happened, but
I mean, apparently that's how mob bosses got rid of their victims. It was going to the swamps and feeding them to the alligators. I was a Ganondorf special.
Hey.
Ganondorf for Captain Falcon.
Falcon Punch.
I'm still mad that they made Ganondorf have Captain Falcon's moves, because he could have been a lot more magical and cooler.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, no, I'm the fact that you're saying have you think about yourself and be
I'm trying to tell you. Yes, boo to clone characters.
Yeah,
I agree.
Exactly. Right, no, true. There could have been some moves he could have kept, but yeah, no, not a fan at all. I can understand some characters, but give them their differences. Oh, okay, all right. I mean, Echo characters I don't particularly mind. Well, there's some, because especially with the new Smash Brother. Well, I guess the Smash Brothers Ultimate with there's Marth, and then the girl Marth. I can't even remember her name because there's so many Fire Emblem characters. They just took they're probably a third of the characters. I'm not even exaggerating. There's just so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are different. Lucina, yes, thank you. I think she has a slightly shorter sword than Marth, and that's about it. Yeah, that's true. Pikachu and Pichu.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I'm happy that I make you think, because sometimes I do these podcast episodes and I'm what am I even thinking?
I don't know. I'm enjoying them, because the way how you present a lot of your topics and your ideas is I literally see the train of thought moving and it is going. And even if it misses the station a few times, it still gets there. It's well, dang, okay, that makes sense. I get it. I can see that point of view. I can understand that point of view. Yeah, men should not really be the same thing that's between their legs. They really shouldn't be. They should not be. It should be no reason why. They should be able to relax like a perm and just chill out for once. Why be so uptight? And even then, I got to check myself. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I'm not doing the things that she says. that she doesn't like, because if that's the case, then I need to go and look at myself in the mirror and be like, self, listen here. Between me and you, we can't be like this. We got to change. We got to do something different, because if we don't, we are failing as a male member of the species. Boom.
No, I mean, I appreciate it. Like, what? I mean, I do like just like a lot of reflection and just thinking about a lot of things. So it's kind of nice to have an outlet, here, and also, my own podcast, Agreeable Gray Area.
Yes.
I hope that, I mean, I like the direction the podcast is going, because it's at least going somewhere rather than just staying in my head as a dream, as a thought. So, but yeah.
I know. I know.
I see we have similar names, though.
Right. Oh man, that's so funny. And I saw that too. I'm like, that's amazing. Like, okay, let's go. I'll take it. I will take it. But no, what I was gonna say was, I know I'm excited for the next two that may materialize. I don't know when, I don't know where, but I'm just super excited, because I think a lot of your topics that you have, I see, like, it's like almost like a little glimpse of either what you're dealing with currently, what you're coming out of, or what has already happened, and you're just kind of like reflecting on it in a way where it helps other people who are still stuck in that same boat to kind of think things differently. So I appreciate you for that. I do.
Well, thank you so much. And yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head. A lot of times it's just like things I've just realized and I'm sharing, things from, my past. But yeah, no, a lot of it is just, I don't know, it's like a weird coming of age. This
There
podcast.
you go. No, that sounds good. That sounds good.
But good news, the episode 9 has been recorded. I just have to edit it and then post that. Yeah. So hopefully I'll I don't know if I'll even have time tomorrow. I meant to do it today, but hopefully I have time tomorrow, because I do want to post it at least this week. It would have been nice before Thanksgiving, but it might be Friday. And episode 10, I don't know what I'm even going to talk about then. I have like a list of ideas, and then I check them off as I go. Well, but yeah, so I mean, episode 10 should be by like the end of this year. Like it'll definitely be before the end of the year. And then so what Ron was referring to about the next 2 episodes was I haven't really shared this podcast on like social media really. And I told myself once I get to episode 10, then I'll like actually share it and really kind of, work on promoting it. But, I've been slacking, because once I got to episode 7, I was like, shit, there's only like 3 more episodes left until I get to like this goal of, doing this thing that's really fucking scary. And I don't know how people are going to react. It's like I want people to listen, but maybe people won't. I don't know. Of course, I assume that most people are just going to listen to like the first episode, and then they're like, oh, this is cool, I'll listen to some later, and then they'll just fall off, which is what happens with literally everything that everyone does ever. But no offense to everyone. It's like, I don't know, because I feel like it's kind of like personal, a diary-ish. And
Okay.
yeah, I haven't listened to too many of his podcasts, but like I'm a fan of him. I think his name's like Stephen Bartlett, or yeah, who's he's like a millionaire in like the UK. With Jose. I don't even know what.
Oh, nice play on words. Nice play on words.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna bring wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, excuse me. He was here earlier.
Okay.
And
I was
then
about to say.
he ran into some technical difficulties, and he had to take a stab back out. But now he is here, and so the triune force is now completed. Yes, we have the power. Oh man,
Speaking of Super Smash Bros. Theme, I love it. Ganondorf, I should say.
Yes. Nah, I can't stand. But yeah. So.
I was going to say, because I know my favorite is Samus. I don't care what Super Smash Brothers we're playing. That's my girl. That's my girl. Samus
Solid
and
color.
Luigi.
I'm actually wearing my main.
Pikachu?
Yeah.
Hey, can't argue. Cannot argue. Cannot.
We gotta get the council together and have a round of Smash. What the heck? I haven't played in years, so I'm not even sure who my main is at this point. But when I played Brawl, which was like probably the one I played the most, Melee was how I started. Then me and my brother got a Nintendo 64 because we got our butts kicked at Melee. So we're like, let's play the original 64, the Triforce of Food Exploration Courage. I was wondering which one I would be, and to be honest, I was like, I don't really know. I feel like I don't know if Elle has to be Wisdom. I don't know if that's sexist just to put her in the Zelda.
Wait, like why is women is sexist? I feel like black.
No. Saying that you would automatically be the Zelda of the Triforce.
Oh,
saying that you could be Power or Courage, but I feel like in general, like Wisdom probably makes sense or Ron could be Wisdom because he has like have a family and everything. I would not put myself as Wisdom. I would just say that. Power. I'm not sure. The Courage probably because I do have the courage of eating food that's questionable.
Yes, you will take Courage hands down. Yes, you got it.
It's so powerful.
Hey, I'll take that. Go for it. Go for it. You know what? You know what? Yes, you are powerful with your words. Boom. You are powerful with your words. Both. Hold on. Both verbally and written. Because them tweets be hitting different. I don't care. No.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Toby.
No, I'm talking about you.
Oh, thank you.
Tweets be hitting different. Like, wait a minute, what? Hell? Really? I mean, even there's times where I can't reply or I can't even do anything. I'm like, come on, L. Like we ain't gonna drop that juiciness on us. Like, when you gonna spill that tea? Because I can't wait. I'm like, I can't wait.
Thank you.
I'm Black Ranger. I'm Zach. I'm Zach. I don't care. I'm Zach. That has been my all-time favorite. Zach. Yes. I'm telling you. I am telling you. I'm telling you. I thought I was the only one, but man, no.
Business. Oh yeah. He's single-handedly like carrying Twitter right now. Like as all the users flee, Al just runs into the fray. It's like I'm gonna carry this platform.
And Elon is like running it to the ground, and I'm just keeping it afloat.
I'm telling you.
They should be paying you $6 a month. Real talk.
That should be verified.
Come on, chop. But back to this one here.
Like which Power Ranger? I don't know. Like I never really watched Power Ranger. I knew that it was like the pink one and the yellow one were girls. I like both of those colors. I'll do pink.
There you go. Okay. What about you, Toby?
The thing is, I also didn't really watch it, so I was like I remember some scenes and all, of course, absurd amounts of like backflips and kicks and all that before they did whatever. But like, I don't really remember anything plot wise. I don't remember the characters well. I remember there was like pink, yellow, black. I don't know what the green looked like. I don't know any of them well enough to be like, who would I be?
Well, Green Ranger's right here. Green Ranger is right here.
Yeah, he unfortunately passed away recently.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Green/White Ranger. Green/White. Then he became Red Ranger for like, I don't know, like 3-4 different elements or seasons or whatever you want to call them for Power Rangers. Like, yeah. I'm telling you, Liz, I'm telling you. Oh,
thank you.
I'm telling you, like I grew up watching Power Rangers up until what was it? SPD? Yeah. I think the last Power Rangers that I actually thoroughly watched it and enjoyed was Power Rangers SPD. After SPD, all the other ones, I'm like, nah, not even. Like at this point, I think they're just trying to be relevant for the next generations and whatnot. Because right now, storyline sucks, costume sucks, the Zord sucks. It's like everything as of right now is just bad. I think when they try to do like what was it? Power Rangers, Samurai, and Power Rangers Shogun Steel. It was trying to kind of recapture the elements of the original Power Rangers, but it was still kind of like still a little hit and miss. But other than that, it was like, you know what? I'm good. I'd rather stick to the old school joints because they were cooler. You know, it was like something ahead of its time, storyline ahead of its time. And even then, it was like relatable, very much relatable.
Yeah, I have to. Honestly, I couldn't tell you anything about any story. I know there was like Zoid. Something. There were like those big giant like
yeah,
Zord. Yeah. So I remember because I haven't watched Death Battle in a while, but because there's just so many of them. There's so many I want to watch, but I feel compelled to watch them in order. And sometimes I'm like, I really don't want to watch this. But one of the Death Battles I saw was like the big like Megazord or whatever versus some other analogous merge from another universe. I had to find out that fight was, but it was interesting because they were trying to explain, you know, the kind of differences between them and who would win, who would lose. And I was like, I barely even remember like this contraption, or this like this. I don't even know what. I guess this fusion. I barely remembered it. So honestly, I just missed. I feel like I missed that whole Power Rangers. Like besides randomly seeing it on maybe a family member's TV every now and then, I really don't remember.
Yeah. Ooh, there it goes. Yes.
I've been having some weird sinus problems myself.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, and again, I know we're kind of straying away from the topic and what we normally do, but whatever. It's Power Rangers, okay? It's Power Rangers. Like for any. Hold on.
No, that's real. That's
yeah. No, because and again, like when we think about the Green Ranger, he started off as a bad guy.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He started off as a bad guy, and somehow he ended up falling for Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, and they were kind of like quote unquote dating, and I'm telling you, like this is how you know I've been a fan because that storyline, because it was interesting. It was very interesting. He went in, he sided up with Rita, and he was supposed to figure out how to destroy the Power Rangers from the inside out, but he messed around and started catching feelings for Kimberly, and so they were slowly starting to become a thing. One of the battles, the Green Zord and the Green Power Ranger got destroyed, quote unquote. But when they were so as the Green Ranger and the Green Zord, as that got destroyed, in comes this White Ranger and this White Tiger Zord to come save the day. Like, man, who is this? Like, this is some awesomeness and whatnot. And of course, Kimberly faints out of nowhere because she's like, oh my gosh. And he catches her, takes off the helmet. Who is it? It's Tommy, everybody. Whoa.
Yeah, that's the name I remember.
And it was like this whole love story triangle from the White Ranger, and he's been White Ranger up until what was it? Up until Ninja? It wasn't Ninja Storm. I think it was like the first when they first did like Power Rangers Ninja or something weird like that. He was still the White Ranger. And then once that arc was going, because I remember watching the movie. I remember watching the first Power Rangers movie. Remember watching that one. Once that arc was gone, then they did Power Rangers Turbo, and he became the Red Ranger. And of course, Kimberly was still there as the pink one, and then some of the other cast from the other Ranger series, they came in and whatnot. But man, yeah, no, that riff, yes, you're right. Go Power Rangers. Yeah. So yeah. Whew. Yeah, that's dating me hard.
Hey, listen.
That's dating me hard. But anyways, I don't care. It's Saturday morning cartoons and watching Power Rangers before it started getting boring. Yes. That was me. Facts.
Oh, right. Because they were all like, I know that some of them definitely studied like martial arts.
Yes.
Oh, like the actual.
Yeah.
Johnny Young Bosch was an actor on the show, and he also does like a lot of voiceover work for like a lot of TV shows.
Interesting.
So let me like Johnny Young Bosch. His first major role was the portrayal of Adam Park, the second Black Power Ranger, and later the Green Zeo Ranger. But he does like a lot of voiceover work. He's been in Bleach.
Oh snap!
My Hero Academia, looks like Trigon.
Who is
he does
he?
like a lot. He does like a lot
He's
of
in
like.
Trigon?
That's what it's saying.
Wow. Okay.
Naruto, like you've definitely heard his voice. Like he's been in he does like a lot of voiceover work.
And you said who is this again?
Johnny Young Bosch.
Okay, I'm about to look up that voice acting kind of.
What? He was Kaneda and Akira? What? I didn't know that.
See, I don't even know who these people are, so it's gonna be like,
Yeah. It was Sasori.
Sasori?
Yeah.
As a Naruto Sasori.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He was Ichigo in Bleach.
Okay, wait, what?
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
Wow. Okay, let's go.
Oh shit, he was Vash the Stampede.
Really?
Yeah.
I wish I could tell you that.
Yes.
I mean,
Bash the Stampede, Trigun.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's in Trigun. These are the English? Because is this American or is this
English?
Okay. I guess it makes sense because Power Rangers was an American.
Yeah, he was Klaus Valka from Last Exile. Last Exile was like one of my favorite anime.
I never heard the dub for Bleach, so I wouldn't recognize Ichigo's voice anyway. But Naruto, I've heard both the dub and the sub version.
Pokemon Origins, he was Brock in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's done a lot of. He's Jonathan Joestar in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Chad, I get you, Chad.
I can see that, Rocky. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that.
Whatever. I can tell the difference between the voices. So.
No, I mean, I definitely know there's different voices, but like for instance with Naruto, all the voices sound very distinct in my opinion for the character. Like, but it's just so irritatingly grating for some characters like Naruto and others. But I get it; they're supposed to be like these annoying characters, but it's just like, dude, really, why does the voice have to sound like this? Anyways, I don't hate it, but it's just like it's more comical to me than like actual like take serious. Also, I wish I had real water right now because I'm struggling.
Not fake water.
Yeah, you said fake water. Maybe I could use a hint, but I'm not great at taking hints. So here we are.
There you go.
You better
take them hints. If
you watch Demon Slayer, he's Gyu Tomioka. Who's like my favorite character, one of them. The Water Hashira.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, talking about anime is always good dinner etiquette.
Yes,
Never
it is.
Never a wrong time. So honestly, you are correct, Amento, on that.
Yes. Matter of fact, speaking of etiquettes, Elle, would you love to do us the honors
of starting the topic?
But of course.
Okay. Okay. So I know this may sound like a similar episode that we did. However, we never really spoke about, like there was one particular thing that I don't think we like mentioned. And it was, I don't know if you ever seen on TikTok or throughout the social medias and the internets about this weird argument or this weird, conflict of who gets the dinner plate first. Is it like the man of the house? Is it the children? Usually the woman is never mentioned.
Oops.
But
oh boy.
It's always like under the assumption that she cooks. So it'd be kind of funny if like, all right, everyone, dinner's ready. Then she just makes a plate for herself and, goes around and sits at the dinner table, just eats it. And then everybody else has to get up. Which sometimes happens, especially if it's not like a special occasion day. If it's just like, all right, y'all, food's ready by kind of day, then that's that. But growing up, I never really like I never really like. I guess like my mom would always give my dad like the first plate of food, and I never really like noticed that until like my mom. I think like she said you eat what you kill. Agreed. I can't remember she was like telling a story about something like what her grandma or great grandmother would say, like that you have to give like the plate to the man first, and sometimes you have to put like a napkin or like a paper towel or like something over the plate. Like it's just like a really vague memory of something like that. So on days when this is gonna sound weird, but whatever. Yeah, but like I'm like my mom would make dinner pretty much every night, and like sometimes my dad would like. It's not like he really like sat around the table with us. He'd probably just like take the plate in front of the TV or something, and but that's kind of just like how it was. But usually, if it was like a special occasion day or something, then yeah, he would always get like the plate first. But I never really, I guess I never really cared because I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get my plate eventually. But it wasn't like really in birth order or anything, at least not to my knowledge. But I don't know. I feel like my mom would dish out the plate so fast that I wouldn't even like know.
Interesting.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna speak on this. Like L, you go ahead, you get done, and I'm gonna speak on this one because this one I get this one.
That's
that's what I assumed would normally happen. Well, it depends.
Not always. But go ahead, go ahead.
I mean, no, that wasn't the case. I mean, like I'm trying to think even at other people's homes or anything. Like I don't really even like recall really. I never really like paid attention like who got like the plate of food first. I guess I was always just waiting for my plate. And so but that's interesting. Like I kind of like that concept of like the dad is last to make sure everybody else is fed. Just do rock, paper, scissors.
I can't even see those other emojis, but
Dad would usually carve the turkey roast or roast beef first. Then the rest of us would get roast beast. Roast beef. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Like I'm trying to. I mean, there's a handful of times I've cooked for a man. Like I would give him the food first because it's just two of us and I'm dishing out the food. So it would have been like once again, like, oh, here's my plate, bye.
The power move would just be to serve yourself first, and then just let him serve himself.
Where it's like, oh, you got served. I'm not serving you.
I'm dead.
But no, like that's. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Whenever like men would cook for me, like I don't know. It's not necessarily like me getting the food first or him like if he cooked or something, or like if I cooked, like him getting it's just it's kind of like when you're like at school or at like some sort of function and you get like a pile of paper and you have to take your paper and then pass it. So I just feel like it's sort of like that where it's just okay, I'm over the stove putting like the food on the plate and everything. Here's your plate. And then, all right, now up to me to, fill up mine. And then this is my plate. So it's just, that's kind of like how I see it. But I don't know. I've never had kids. I've like, bought food for like my niece and nephews, and like I would, of course, like give them the food first because once again it would have been weird. Unless like I mean I've never like bought like a ton of. Well, I think like when I got them food once, it was like a bunch of like tacos and burritos, so they just kind of like went into the bag and picked it. I can't remember. This was fucking years ago. But same. I remember this well.
I remember
Yeah.
the heat.
But yeah, I mean that's pretty much my thoughts. Like I don't think it. I can understand giving the food to the kid first, and then like, then the adults. And I feel like whoever is serving the food, I guess, would get the food last. I don't know, but yeah, I do want to hear your thoughts on this, or Toby, if you're.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to remember exactly. Like, I know at least for Thanksgiving, for instance, we kind of serve ourselves. So I mean, the food's all there. You just kind of go along,
Right.
and
Like,
so and it wasn't exactly like it was like you called up in a certain way. Usually, I just wait and be like, okay, I'm gonna let people go. But oftentimes, it'd be like, oh yeah, go up and get food. I'm not sure exactly the order of how it happened. If there was any difference in gender, if it was like the host family versus the visiting. Like if we go to our aunts, was it us that kind of went first, or how did that go? I'm not sure. If you have more of like a more generalized dinner party, usually I would kind of wait a bit because I don't want to have my savage instincts to come in. But usually people would just be like, like, oh no, go get food and take seconds, whatever. People usually were pretty, they're pretty like open in that way and like very giving. But it's kind of hard to like remember who exactly is supposed to go first. Now I guess when people would cook for me, I've had the situation where people I wouldn't even get food because I was in my room doing my own thing, work, other stuff. I had multiple friends over, and yeah, and sometimes it wasn't even all girls. Like I remember the time where it was a guy and a girl who tag teamed. Both of them were Kenyan. They knew each other. They made some really good food. I got some of that, but there was a time where I didn't really get much food of any because I was so busy doing stuff, and I really needed to finish what I was doing. And then the food got finished. And so sometimes I had friends who would look out and be like, hey, you should get food before it all gets gone. Sometimes friends would actually pack a plate and be like, here, before the savages finish it. Other times it was, I don't know, like it's kind of hard to, I mean, sometimes it was just so casual and just so chill where anyone goes. But I guess if you kind of are in a more adult setting where it's like actual like family or like it's a bit more proper, then usually I very kind of like let me sit back and wait. But in terms of who got served first, and sometimes people just come in as they come in, so it's not like everyone came in at a certain time and the food came out and part of a formal program. Sometimes it was more just like you're at this house for this event. There's food already being made. Oh yeah, please, you're a guest. Come get food. And so there doesn't seem to be much of an order. So I'm trying to think about, and I guess like there's events that are more like formal, where it's like you actually. In fact, I was just at one. There was this Nigerian event. I feel like I haven't given a lot of my updates for things I've done, mostly because it's been so monopolized by my car struggles. But a few weekends ago, not this past Saturday, but the one before, there was this Nigerian Igbo gala. And Igbo's the tribe where I'm from. So it was the first annual gala, and at one point, I mean, they were giving out food to people, but it was more appetizers. And then at some point, they served the food based on like sort of importance. They had certain tables for honored guests, and all those honored guests had already been served food. It looked like, so they say, "Hey, this table go," and it's like, "Oh, we already ate." This table go, and it happened like to 3 tables, and then our table was the closest, one of the closest to those 3. So they're like, "All right, I guess you guys can go." And I was like, "Oh my god, we were the first ones," because normally whenever you have tables being called by, not even importance, but just in general, somehow we're always one of the last. I don't know. It just was always the case. My table is never anywhere near the first table. Eventually, it gets to the open season where it's just like, all right, if you haven't been called, go up. So that the fact that this time it was actually like, oh my gosh, we actually got to go first, kind of on accident because the first 3 already had gotten food, but we were able to go first, and that was no real particular order. Definitely nothing with gender. It was just like this table go up. Well, sometimes for those formal events, you might be served in some type of importance, honored guests, and then it's just random. If it's like you're sitting at tables, then there's definitely really less of a preference probably for children and
Mhm.
the like. Unless they explicitly announce, hey, we want to make sure kids eat first, blah blah.
Mhm.
But I'm not sure I really notice specifically with between men and women how it is. I know like at my house, if we're having food, and it might not be we're hosting, but we just have some kind of dinner because we don't have those like as regularly. It's like, hey, if we're all home, my mom will usually make some kind of food. My sisters might help, and in those cases, perhaps my mom is kind of putting the food on the table. No, actually no, that's different too because then in that case, yeah, the food gets put on the table, and we all basically reach and pass the plate type of thing. Um, yeah, and it's interesting.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm gonna have to go through the chat a little bit because I think I missed some context. But I think like in that case, the food is already there in the middle of the table. And when growing up, we never had like a pass the plate. Like that was definitely something I learned from TV and not real life. Where it's like pass the salt, pass the mustard, pass the whatever. Because that was just never how we had. Like we would pretty much go to the pot directly, get our food. We might all sit at the table. We might pray. We might do whatever. But we weren't
Right.
food on the table to pass around. That didn't start happening until maybe even after I graduated from high school. No, even in high school at some point. But that kind of took some. I don't know that was like it was a weird point where we just didn't eat as a family together. Partly because some of us lived in
Mhm.
different places, and then in high school we all kind of came back together ish. But some of us were going to college, and then we started having more family ish meals where it was like the food was on the table. But even that wasn't always true. But that was a new thing. Was like, oh, now we have to actually pass these dishes or reach if it's okay to do so if it's polite. But that it was like a different type of etiquette. That's more of like
Mhm.
the um it's still an important part of etiquette. I think when it comes to the table manners, that's I think what you call them. I didn't have to learn a lot of table manners. Not that I was like being reckless at the table, but we just didn't have a lot of those traditional pass items around. So that was something
Right.
I could learn a little bit later. Not to even speak about um the etiquette when it comes to like multiple courses and which type of utensils do you use. Don't even get me started on that. We'll get into that later. But for
Right.
L, what you're saying, I think I just have not had noticed a lot of these dynamics because it wasn't quite like people were going up and getting served necessarily. At least not in any kind of order. Usually the host probably back. Got into this one designated person. Yeah, cookouts definitely I can see that. But
Mhm.
sometimes people will already pre-make the plates. Sometimes you go up and go in a line. I've been to like I think there was a cruise I went to in September for Nesby Boston. And in that case, I don't even remember. I think the food was just called in general, um, and there was no really order to anything. It's an interesting question, actually. Riders should get kids, mom, then dad.
Mhm.
And then you went to bed hungry. Sometimes. Oh man. I do remember, like with Thanksgiving in particular, my dad usually was cutting into the turkey, getting pieces for people. So I think for a lot of the other things you could serve yourself, but for that one, or at least maybe it wasn't like you were getting served explicitly, but the meat was just being cut up until like it kind of ran out ish. Then okay, maybe my dad would come back and keep cutting. Or sometimes maybe when we get older, it's just like everyone can kind of figure it out. But I feel like it was
Mhm.
the first kind of person to help get things. I'm kind of replying ish to Elizabeth, Liz, what you're saying about kids get served first because they needed their meat cut up and serve certain dishes, etc. The closest I can think of was like maybe when I was younger, that for sure there was probably cut ups like that. But at least now, even with Thanksgiving, the turkey usually you have someone who can cut it and kind of make sure that the dark is cut. It's not like explicitly the dark is here, the white meat's here, but sometimes I do remember asking, "Can I get more cuts of the dark?" But I can also probably figure it out myself now. The one cousin. Oh yes, bringing
Cousin.
dishes. This
We gonna talk about that.
That's an
Yeah,
absolute
sure.
big part of this as well because we haven't
Mhm.
talked explicitly about the potluck dynamic yet. Not
Yes.
yet.
Oh yes. Ooh. So I'm gonna do a big circle back to L's point, because when I was growing up, I was living with my dad and my stepmom, and the one time that we did sit at the table, it pretty much to Toby's point as well. We did sit together like a handful of times to eat dinner, to talk and get to know each other and this and the third. And I think by the time my youngest brother was born, that's when a lot of that kind of like table talk stopped. And so my dad, he typically would get served first, and then I think it would be it would be like the baby. So it'll be my dad, then the youngest, then my stepmom, somehow she was in there. It didn't mean my brother, my stepsister, we would get served somewhere in there as well. And it kind of was like, okay, cool, great, whatever. When we had like Thanksgiving at our relative at her relatives' places, it would kind of be like kids. Ooh, boy, you haven't met mine. You have not met mine. Oh boy. Oh man.
You're gonna F up the night, and not the way Beyonce meant.
Yeah, right. So
I don't know what Beyonce meant. It's probably this.
She was like Blue Ivy. I've had enough of Blue Ivy, and did I have another kid? I don't know.
We're gonna fuck up the night.
Right.
It's like a multiple parts. There was the Jay-Z cheating, there was the reconciliation with the Carters. Now it's about the kids effing up everything for all of us, but it's fine. Hidden messages everywhere.
Right. So it would be kids, and then I don't know, it would be like the men or the women, but whoever, whatever. That's how that happened. As I got older and had my own kids and everything else, and this is what I've done and what me and the missus done. We've always done this. It would be like kids first, and then
yo. Chad's on the FTK energy for real.
Yeah. Yep, Chad is on that one.
Yeah, I try my hardest to not ask that question, but it's hard because it's like, well, y'all don't got anything else going on.
Yeah.
All you got is school. You
exactly.
like sports. It's like, oh, what TV shows are you watching? Like, I mean, like, but don't recommend me any TV shows because I'm not gonna watch these little TV PG shows. Maybe just, I'm not gonna watch the Spirit Horse show on Netflix. But I have nieces and nephews. I know a little bit of. I speak a little kid.
I speak kid.
I speak a little kid.
Jeez, no, my kids, they
like the Dragon Prince though. They do like the Dragon Prince.
It sounds vaguely familiar, but
it's on Netflix. It's by the same creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Mike and Michael. Freaking forgot their names.
Yeah, like DiMartino. I think they had like some very interesting, hard to pronounce names.
Like Brian's Michael Dante. Oh yeah, Michael and Brian. Yeah.
Yeah. Pause, stop, break. Okay, there we go. And so as I got older, had my own kids and own family, it would be kids get served first, and then me and the missus will kind of fight. Not really, but we'll kind of be like, okay, depending upon who's serving dinner that night, either I'll get served next, then she'll get served last, or she'll get served next, and then I'll get served last. And it kind of just been like that to make sure that the kids have something to eat. And even to Rocky's point, there are times where we but I'd say we had literally nothing in the kitchen, I would go in there and make something and make sure the kids had something to eat. And then the missus, when she come home, whatever was left over between me and her, we will split that. And even then, if it wasn't enough, I would give her some of mine, just like you, just because it was just one of those things where it was like, I want to make sure that you're good, or it will be vice versa. Like, I want to make sure that you're good because you're holding us down. You're doing this, that, and the third. And I'm like, I want to make sure that you're good because you're doing the same thing that I'm doing as well. So it's like, as long as the kids are good and taken care of, I'm good. I'm happy. I don't got nothing else to worry about. If I go to bed, hey, I'm fasting that day, whatever the case may be, because at the end of the day, the way how me and my wife was taught up, how me and my wife was raised and brought up was, make sure your kids are taken care of first. And as long as your kids are good, you're going to be good. And so it would just be kind of, amazing when we go to like my uncle's house and, we're, doing cookouts and everything else. All like, hey, tell my kids, you guys go ahead. You guys are old enough now. You go ahead and make your plates. And, of course, my wife's like, babe, you want to make your plate? Like, no, I'm good. You can make your own plate. She's like, no, we're like, no, you're good. You make your plate. You go ahead because I know there's a lot of stuff that you cannot eat. And knowing me, if I make your plate, you're not going to get anything. And so she just sit there looking at me like, okay, fine then, be that way. Like, I'm looking out for your health. Thank you very much. And so we do this a lot. And even still to this day, like even now for Thanksgiving, it's pretty much going to be like the same way where I'll probably end up cutting up the turkey. And that's pretty much about it. But other than that, because everybody's old enough, they're probably going to end up like getting and making their own plates and go from there. And
Gotcha.
yeah, and even if we go to my brother's place and whatnot, it's typically the same thing. Like kids, they get served first, started from youngest to oldest, and then I think when it came to the adults, we pretty much was like, whoever's next, jump on in, and I'm the savage one. I'm gonna be the savage one. I'm the savage one who will pile up plate. I will eat the first plate. That'll be gone, and then I'll wait until everybody else is done. And once the announcement for seconds has been announced, I'm kind of somewhere close to first or second, getting seconds, and again just smashing it down until I can't eat no more. And so when it's like, hey, we got leftovers, I'm looking like, okay, I'm gonna get a little bit of everything because I know I like to eat, and then my kids, they like to eat, so they get a little bit of everything. We just sit around and just eat leftovers. It's just good eating. Like, yes. So yes, if you invite me over to your dinners and whatnot, yes, I'm that savage one. Sorry, but not sorry. You have been warned.
Savage love.
Yeah. I am that savage one. So yes, you've been warned. Sorry, but not sorry.
Ron is the one and the 2 and the 3. So that is what was said.
That's funny.
Yeah. And even then, my kids, they're the same way. They are the same way from the oldest to the youngest. They will eat you out of house and home. They will literally eat you out of house and home. And you kind of figure out, like, where's it all going? It's going somewhere, but I don't know where. I don't know where.
Savage.
That's my disclaimer. That is my disclaimer for me and my household. Yes. Yes, 4 out of 5 straight. When it comes to food, straight savagery. Straight savagery. If you don't give us some parameters beforehand, you might not get anything. Just again, throwing that out there. We try to be humble. We try to kind of be like, not overdo it, but somehow, some way, it ends up happening, and so we tend to make more than enough just to make sure it doesn't happen. Yes. Yes. Even though my daughter, she's not a teenager yet, she still makes food disappear and vanish instantly. My youngest, he's not a teenager yet. He still has like 5 more years before he hits that age group, but he still makes food disappear instantly. Is like instant transmission. Food's there, food's gone. Finito, out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, they all, they all do it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's different. I know. Yeah, I mean, I was like, was I that bad as a teenager? I feel like I ate a lot of processed food anyway, like microwavable burritos. There was a point I ate a lot of chicken patties, really hot pockets, not hot pockets, pizza rolls. So I'm like, was I really throwing out food from my parents' fridge? I don't know. I feel like I didn't eat a lot. Like even going to high school, like I would eat the lunch, you know, that I would get there. I didn't eat the breakfast at school. I would eat lunch and then I would come home. I don't even remember what I was really eating, to be honest. But I'm not sure if I was going that crazy with it.
Oh yeah, I know. When I got into high school, oh yeah, I was going to town. I was going to town. Like I would finish a plate, and then and even my mom, she would tell everybody like there was a time where I did not eat whatsoever as a kid. There was a time where I would sit at the table for hours and I wouldn't eat. I would not eat. And now, like as teenager and adult and whatnot, is like I'm eating anything in sight that's not going to kick up my allergies. But oh yeah, I'm going to town. I'm going to town. That's a possibility. I'm not. I'm not going to confirm or deny that it's actually happened, but that's a possibility.
These kids.
Yeah, I'm feed these kids. That's my FTK. That's my FTK. Feed these kids.
Oh, yo, yes. Feed the kids. We just need a black and white picture of Ron.
With a pot and a spoon like this. Like, feed these kids.
Ron,
Let's go, Chad. Let's go, Chad.
I love it.
Yeah. So, who brought this up? Because this is actually a good segue. I mentioned somebody. I think was it Rocky or was it Gil or was it Chad? Somebody mentioned about the one cousin didn't bring anything to the cookout.
It was Rocky.
But actually, if you don't yet, so what? And I'm gonna ask it for us as well and for everybody else in the chat because this is a perfect segue because the way how my brain works. Has there been a time where you've been invited to whether it be a cookout, dinner party, potluck style, whatever? Has there been a time where you got invited to a place that required a dish to be passed? One, did you make a dish to be passed? Or two, did you not? And three, how'd you feel about it?
Make a dish to be passed.
Mm-hmm.
Like pass the vegetables. Like is that what you mean?
Like okay, let me see. Recently, my school we do hold on, wait a minute. We're gonna have to come to this one. We're gonna have to come to this one.
I had a thought, but I didn't want to say the thought at all yet. And you might have the same one, but invited to. Is there a time where you were invited to already? No.
No. I invited you to my Halloween party. I invited everybody.
Everyone, yes. Everyone.
Right, but you didn't show up, Chad. That's on you.
That's true.
Yes. Okay, so my So at my school, every now and then, what we do is if the staff is doing like a potluck style, whatever, asking like, hey, can somebody bring drinks? Somebody can bring chips, this, that, and the third. I think the one time I made, I think I made brownies.
Yeah. I see, Rocky. I was trying not to ask. I was struggling not to ask. So I was like, let me give her the benefit of the doubt before I just jump into assumptions. Honestly, I don't know if I've had potato salad with raisins, and I'm not sure if it's like that much of a sin. Like I've not tasted it to where I'm like, wait, this is wrong. I'm not even sure where it came from. Lasagna.
Yes.
So, Chad's like, what kind of witchcraft is this? Ziti is where it's at. I mean, lasagna is good, but ziti, oof, when I had that for the first time, it changed my baked ziti.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. So like a dish to be passed. So like I made brownie and I brought that as a dish so everybody could pass. So it could be passed around to anybody who want brownies. Or if I decided to make like an actual like main course, bring that to the potluck or to whatever cookout or to whatever dinner party, whatever the case may be, bring that as a dish so that everybody could get a little piece, so everybody could get some, That's what I meant, L.
Okay.
Like
everyone's saying raisins, and it just, I just started getting kind of, sad because it, reminds me of Chadwick Boseman, from his SNL skit.
Oh, were there raisins in it? Oh yeah, I have an idea. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a classic. That's why everyone always says don't put raisins in the potato salad.
I thought that was just a general like culture thing that had shown up.
I don't know. It could have been. I'm not too versed in potato salad. And
yeah,
I don't like other common American dishes.
So. It's happened. This is
not really how it's happened.
It's happened.
Why am I surprised? I've heard that mayo sandwiches are real. I always thought white people being so obsessed with mayonnaise. It was like, whatever. Because I like mayonnaise, but I use it not as the sole ingredient in a sandwich, though. If I'm mixing tuna or just making a sandwich, I put or a burger, mayo, mustard, ketchup, but so I shouldn't have been surprised, but it's still surprised with the raisins. I'm like, oh, that's totally fake.
Yeah, that's real.
That's really there's really a mayonnaise sandwich where you actually just have sandwich in the bread. Yeah. That's sick. That's actually not an okay thing because I like mayonnaise too. You can put in a healthy dose of mayonnaise on these sandwiches, on these different rolls, but there's absolutely not a single point in time ever that's acceptable to just have bread and mayonnaise in the middle. That's not it. And I'm looking at this warm potato salad thing. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of German potato salad either. So I'm learning a whole lot of new things. Like a sandwich with your mayonnaise.
Like a grilled sandwich, just you dip bread into soup or something. It's hey, would you like to just dip the bread into the mayonnaise?
Yeah, that's not it. I think I remember.
Some people will dip fries in mayonnaise.
Yeah, I tried that in high school because I actually started using mayonnaise. It can be good, but sometimes it can be a little too much.
Right, it's that's I feel fries with mayonnaise. That's I kind of feel it could be too much. That's oh, there was no ketchup. I just need to dip my fries in something. So you try mayonnaise, but you're not really supposed to like it. It's supposed to just be I had no other choice to dip my fries in. the worst. Yeah.
I've barely been in Pennsylvania, so I can't really relate to.
Pen levels? What? So it was oil and vinegar, no mayo. Okay. Yeah. And I still put oil and vinegar with in my sub sandwiches when I still put mayonnaise and mustard.
Oil and vinegar. I've never actually. I don't know if I put that on a sandwich. I guess maybe there's certain sandwiches that just come with all these types of like spreadings and oils and whatever's. But definitely, if I've made one, I've never put that like on a sandwich. But like, there's so many types of places. I mean, besides Subway, you even have Jimmy John's, which is kind of a newer one, or Mike Subs or whatever, or is it Firehouse? There's some different ones I've tried more recently, and there's probably are some oils and things that I'm just not 100% aware of that are in there. Sandwich etiquette, that's a whole different thing. That's, and I know like deli meat I've heard too, you have to be careful with, because my sister, my older middle sister was telling me, because I think I was talking about eating different types of sandwiches when I was in college. Like there was a sandwich station, and I started actually, because I didn't used to eat a lot of those type of sandwiches with deli meats and wraps, but I was like, there's a sandwich station at one of these places, and it's actually pretty good. And she was like, yeah, just be careful because there's carcinogen, whatever. I mean, she at that point was a senior in college, so she probably had been through it all. And I was just a freshman. Oil and vinegar. I mean, I'm gonna have to like try different subs and like really get to know the difference, because sometimes like everything just tastes the same. Turkey, not everything literally tastes the same, but I'm like, I don't even remember. Like,
also like oregano.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Come on. Oregano in the spaghetti? Yes.
As a former sandwich maker at a university, I know my way around the sandwich.
Oh, you were a former sandwich maker at one of the universities?
I was a professional sandwich maker. I was a sandwich artist.
Artist.
Okay. There you go.
Put on my resume. Sandwich
Oh man. Hold on. Rocky got a good question.
This is warning. You may or may not get hungry watching these streams.
I guess, well, for shakes, it's like the salty sweet thing. Like when I worked at Wendy's, this was prior to becoming a sandwich artist. I had to get experience before becoming a sandwich artist. When I worked at Wendy's, like people would order like fries and a Frosty, because the Frosty at the time was like $1, and so it was like a fry. So people like the salty and the sweet. But I guess like because fries are really like aerodynamic and dippable. I can see it with melted cheese.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. I'm not even a huge fan of ketchup like that for real. Like there used to be a point where I always had it, but now I'm just like, I prefer to go bare. I prefer to go without ketchup. Let me be very clear about what I'm saying here. I prefer to eat my fries without ketchup. Where people think I'm out here being reckless. Shakes, melted cheese, mayo, and even sticking your fries into things, I can't go. I can't do this anymore. I actually can't.
The thing is like sometimes you run out of things to stick your fries in, so you just start to get creative.
Jesus have mercy.
I
need to look at a different phrasing, because I can't do it. French fries dipped in. Oh yeah, tartar sauce is really good.
Yeah.
I had it with like Maryland crab cakes. Sadly, I didn't grow up eating crab cakes, even though I grew up in Maryland. I had it for the first time summer after my sophomore year of college. There was this place. I did an internship in California. That's the joke, because it's literally called California, Maryland. It was like 30 minutes south of where I lived with my family. And it was right next to Hollywood, Maryland. So I used to say, hey, I used to commute to California for work every day. And so, but there was a place called Solomon's Island, which is also hilarious, because we had a friend in high school named Solomon, and he was the brother of. So I got the internship because the dad of one of my high school friends works at this company called Progeny Systems. So I was working with my friend, and his older brother was actually my year. Like we were friends throughout school. I was friends with the younger brother too, because he's only a year younger than me. So his name was Solomon. The older the brother who was my year. So we kind of joke going to Solomon's Island, like, oh, Solomon, you have an island. But Solomon's Island had this place called Stoney's Kingfishers, which had these great crab cakes. Like, I remember having it with fries. It was like a little ball. Like, it was like more of a little crab ball on a sandwich. And then there was tartar sauce, probably some mayonnaise as well on the sandwich. And I never really remembered having tartar sauce before, but that was when I really I loved it. Then when I would eat Popeyes, which I didn't eat a lot when I was younger, but in grad school, I lived right next to one, and that was a mistake. But I would eat Popeyes there. And I remember I would have tartar sauce with everything. Like, I would have it not just for the shrimp, but also the chicken. And my friend, she actually worked at Popeyes for a bit. She was one of my roommates. She was like roasting me because he's like, you're not supposed to eat tartar sauce with everything. I'm like, listen, I'm going to do what I want.
Right.
I'm going to eat the tenders and the fish and the shrimp. I don't care. Ketchup is all I need. And ketchup, I don't know. For me, it just is like a little too much now. Too sweet. Even on like a sandwich, like I might put a little bit of ketchup on a burger or on some kind of roast melt or roast beef, but sometimes it can be just a bit overpowering. Or not overpowering, but just I can taste the over sugar, and I'm like, oof. I'm going to eat my fries plain at this point.
I'm with Rocky on this one. I like me some ketchup. Love that chicken from Popeyes. Yes.
Ketchup is probably the best with fries. My friend pointed something out like years ago that like made me like kind of think how depending on how we cook the potato, like what we decide to eat it with, like with a baked potato, you might use like sour cream, salt, pepper, or butter. But you wouldn't like dip fries into melted butter, or you wouldn't really just like dip it into sour cream, and like potato chips, you wouldn't dip it. You want to like eat it with butter or with ketchup. You want to put ketchup on a baked potato either, or you want to put it on. You definitely want to put it in mashed potatoes.
Oh man, okay.
Different ways like we prepare potatoes. But we use ketchup with tater tots, but we don't really use ketchup. We don't really use sour cream with tater tots.
No.
Or like with butter, or like a hash brown with butter. Yeah.
Tater tots sour cream is definitely one of the ones that can be very overpowering. I mean, it's great when you're having and I just had Chipotle yesterday. So like when you're having it in a nice bowl, but there are times where I'm just like, oof, yikes. Like it's just a lot.
Yeah, I had Chipotle today actually, and yeah, I always tell them to put like a little bit of sour cream, but then it always seems like too much. So I'm like, then what is the normal amount of sour cream? It'll just be eating sour cream.
I don't touch it.
You want a little bit of
want to be a dollop of Daisy, be like a wallop of Daisy.
Yeah, even those commercials when I see the dollop of Daisy, I don't know. I didn't like that. Didn't make me all of a sudden want to buy it. Like I was like, I don't know about
I'm done with Rocky.
I'm done
with Rocky.
Oh, how did I forget about that?
I'm done with Rocky. Rocky, you have earned to go sit over there. You earned to go sit over there, sir. You go sit all the way over there. You leave your keyboard and leave your computer screen up, but you go sit all the way over there. Don't come back for like 5 minutes.
This is called voluntary timeout. Instead of being actually don't act up like some of these people. But this is the type of timeout we'll do when you're actually cool.
Yeah.
Happy with food is an art. No, for real.
But this is actually my Twitter name. Like I just did it with all emojis. If anyone noticed.
Hey,
welcome.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lambs. Wait, dogs? Wait a minute. Wait, dogs? We over here eating dogs?
Hot dogs.
Dogs. Yeah.
No, ain't no hot dogs, straight dog. No.
Yeah.
Dog, a
Yeah, we
dog.
can't.
You eating earth.
I always cook.
You eating over there, Fido.
I don't
Come
eat
on.
out like that. Like sometimes I will, but I don't. I don't know. My food is like very much. Where's my
That's
next
why
meal
you're
coming?
single.
I don't even know. Was that?
Rocky. I want to say, Rocky, you better not run away. You started this. You better bring that butt here.
No, you said I barely eat out. I don't eat out. I was like, well, that's why you're single.
Would I not be single if I? Oh, wait a second. Very clever. I'm dead. Ron, Ella's everything
She
you said.
on one.
Everything
That was
you said
on
in the
one.
intro. Everything you said in the intro has all of a sudden come to life in ways I couldn't.
In more ways than none.
Telling
Yes,
us about
in more
ourselves.
ways than none.
It wasn't even just besides the dipping our fries into everything. That I had to like steer myself away from that one because I was like, let me not. But it's okay. Listen, if they are the ones who want to give more than they receive, who am I to stop them? Who am I to stop them from going ahead and just giving? If they just want to go ahead and give, and
It is the season.
My head
the
hurts.
season. Listen.
Oh my!
Tis the season for eggnog. Slob on the knob. Slob on the it is what it is. Black corn on the cob. Check in with me.
I've been told me.
Good job. Shots fired. Helped her with the ladies. Listen, I just need to get my life together.
That's all.
Just one thing, just one little thing. And once that's done, it's gonna be all over for you hoes. Hoes, mother trucker.
I just need a small loan of $1 million and everything will.
Oh my goodness. My head hurt.
You can't breathe.
Nah, y'all need you to breathe. Spring Chick,
Also,
breathe.
I feel like I've asked you about before Spring Chick, but do you have another persona on another platform? Or did you find our Twitch from
the Twitchverse?
The Twitchverse, or was it within our I don't know, Twitter TMC Melanated Council? Because sometimes you see people and they have different names, like Whispering Eyes, we actually know is a different name. The Aurora, Polar Lights. And I've definitely seen Spring Chick, but I'm like, I don't know if this is someone I know in real life or if they're just like the Twitchverse has brought them to us. But we appreciate the compliment.
Oh, they got personal connections.
Interesting.
Okay.
They're gonna be coy about it. That's fine. I guess don't chase women, chase cash. Yeah, of course. There's a line about. I feel like there's multiple lines. Of course. F, get money. Well, we already know that one. There's another one that Future said.
Well, like money, power, respect. Is like
never
you see, I believe in money, power, respect. First, you get the money, then you get the motherfucking power, and after you get the fucking power, motherfuckers give you respect. That's the intro to one of my favorite songs. Money, power, respect's all you need in life.
Hey, I'm gonna go blast that after this so we don't get copyright infringed.
Because that's what we're all about, waiting 2 hours into a stream to start playing music.
Right.
Even though you can just play the song on YouTube, we may have to watch an ad. It's YouTube logic. Oh, snap.
Okay. In fact, Ron was being all silent and coy, so I was wondering because I feel like I shouldn't even be surprised. Ron's always the one with the Twitch connections.
Yeah, especially with this one. Especially with this one. I mean, y'all couldn't see the little demon emoji up top.
Wait.
I saw that I got personal connections demon emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm,
I guess
mhm.
we should have just did process of elimination because Toby did not know. I sure don't know. I don't know people. So I was like, oh yeah, I guess it's wrong. Fuck you guys up. Always too down on yourselves.
Chad. I mean, for me, the self-deprecation is what it is.
It is what it is.
I'm done.
Man.
Oh my goodness. I'm done.
We're down on ourselves because no one is down on us.
Boom. Sometimes, listen. Listen. L's practicing City Girls. Young Miami. That is actually the name. That's L's new name now. Young Miami.
No. Yeah. The City Girls. What must I be like?
Old school.
Tagging me, yo.
Flashlight.
Yes, that era. That era, yes.
I was actually listening to that today. Funny enough.
What? Really?
Yeah. Like I have YouTube Premium now. And so I've been like trying to like find music. And I think YouTube just sometimes just creates like a mix. I was like, okay. So, and that was the song. That was one of the songs.
Nice.
Like, oh, thank you, YouTube. Yeah.
Oh Lord, my phone is blowing up. Whoopsies.
Okay.
No, Rocky. Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, as we kind of derailed, coming back. So I know we were talking about potlucks and as far as dinner etiquette goes. So nobody brought a dish for like a potluck style kind of ordeal or even a cookout.
I mean,
like a food edible dish. Usually I would like bring drinks.
That works.
An edible food dish.
Or I guess consumable.
Yeah. Whatever. Yes. Consumables. There you go. Consumables.
Consumables.
I've brought like brownies. I remember I baked something. Or like sometimes I'd usually just like bring drinks because that's kind of easy. Or like chips or crackers and cheese. Apparently that's what I brought to Thanksgiving last year. And my sister reminded me. She was like, yeah, I told everyone to like bring a dish and no one really brought a dish. You brought crackers and cheese.
Dang, she called
like, oh man, I didn't really know that, but hey, at least I brought crackers and cheese. But I can understand that kind of sucks. So I'm hosting Thanksgiving this year. I don't know if I've told you guys. I never hosted before.
Oh, okay. Look at you.
Yeah, because I asked like a week ago my sibling chat, like, hey, what's going on for Thanksgiving? I knew that two of my siblings weren't going to make it because they live out of town. But I just like texted to the group chat anyway because I didn't want to like, create another group chat. So one of my brothers was like, oh, you should have it at your house. And I was like, you know what? Bet. As long as y'all cook and bring things. So, because like one of my sisters didn't want to host. My mom did not, like she's still getting her home situated. And then like, my brothers live in way too small of places. Not like I live in like a ginormous space, but I can at least accommodate everybody comfortably. So I was like, All right, let's try it at my house.
All right.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh no! Oh, what have you done? I don't know. It hasn't been done yet. It hasn't happened yet. I have no idea what it.
What
What?
have you done? Open the floodgates.
Oh, I have a question for y'all. After Toby answers.
Oh yeah. Haha.
Yeah.
I technically I know there was a Friendsgiving my first semester of grad school. My roommates, I mean I think I just got like some basic rules, like maybe Pillsbury, just put them in the oven, and that worked out fine because Lord knows I wasn't making a real dish. But we had a Friendsgiving. My roommates were chemi grad students, and so I became good friends with a bunch of the chemis, like that first year class of chemi PhD students. Because my friend from undergrad, we roomed together because he was a chemi, and we were like, hey, we're going to the same school. Let's room together. And he met a guy at his orientation who was also an incoming chemi grad student. So the three of us lived together. We were cool. And so I became good friends with all of them. And so for that Friendsgiving that another guy hosted who was a chemi, I went to that, brought a little dish. That was like fall 2016. Probably the only Friendsgiving I remember going to, honestly, before then and since. And then outside of that, I'm trying to think if I actually went to a proper like a potluck. I know I brought stuff for food, like for school, where there was like, international like food day or some kind of, country like representation, bring food and get food. But for like actual friends' houses and like, I know there's some friends who have like hosted events, but some of them are low key alcoholics, or at least like they like drinks. So I would just bring a drink and it was fine because and then there would already be a lot of drinks, but honestly, no one really like said anything. Never could say no to more drinks. And it's not like they were like, oh, you don't have food. They would be like, oh, please take. But those are more of like little kickback parties where there would be food, but it wasn't necessarily like an intimate food party where you can see everybody in the same room and you're eating. And it's very noticeable if you don't bring food. So I've kind of gotten away with not having to bring a lot of actual food dishes. But an idea I have had when I first moved to Boston, and I posted this in one of our Black professional chats, was we should have like some kind of cooking party. Because, and I'll be quick about this, but when I was in college, grad school really, I was in Nesby, we had something called Nes Brunch, where like once a year, sometimes once a semester, but usually once a year, we would take over the kitchen of like one of the dorms on like a Saturday morning, afternoon, because people really ain't waking up early, but late morning, early afternoon, and they would cook a bunch of food. It was free, just show up, engage, have a good time. So I remember doing Nes Brunch fall of like 17. It was my second year of grad school. And so for that, I didn't bring any food either. But I think I just helped with like some setup or like helping to clean up and stuff, helping to bring stuff in if people needed help. So I suggested it to the Boston like professionals. I was like, maybe we can have like some kind of cooking party if someone has a big enough kitchen, people can actually cook, not just a potluck or people bring dishes, but an actual like, hey, let's bring food together and actually like whip it up together because that's a nice way to bond. And that never really happened as far as I know, and I honestly forgot to re-mention it, but I have not had to bring a lot of dishes for potlucks personally. But I've been able to. Oh, I did bring some Kenyan stew, but I had a friend make like this goat. I gave her all the ingredients for like goat. I forget the name of it, but ugali was like this kind of like cornmeal. It's similar to fufu, which is a West African dish, but ugali is East African cornmeal turned into these like white balls. And I do remember making that with my friend's help. She helped me make it. That was like last year, September. And that was like for an actual like outdoor event in the fall. So I really had to bring a dish for like an Afro-Caribbean picnic. So yeah, that's that.
Okay. I love how Toby finished and just immediately went on mute.
Right.
Like, that is that. Okay. Say less. But I did want to ask the question to everyone, like, I guess etiquette for when you're bringing like a new partner, or even like Yeah, let's say a new I won't even say like a friend. It's like a friend would like, it's not like much expectation, but like with a like someone that you're dating, like a partner, that kind of etiquette. Like, what are you expecting? And like, or if like your sibling or your cousin is bringing someone new, or like that kind of etiquette.
Gotcha. Let's see.
Or you just have any funny stories to share? Sorry.
Oh, this is gonna be no. This is interesting. This is an actually good, interesting question because you could look at it in two different ways. Because the one question I thought you were going to talk about was like, how do you like host like Thanksgiving and whatnot? But when you threw in like the dynamic of bringing somebody new into the family, it was like, ooh, okay, this is going to be like those make or break conversations, especially around the dinner table. Because if the partner doesn't show up and answer questions correctly, or not necessarily correctly, but in a way where it's like, okay, we might give you a chance if you stick around. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. I think before me and my wife got married, we were still dating, and
like before you and your wife got married, you guys were dating. I was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and so if nobody's actually catching on, Spring Chick is my wife.
Okay, I figured. Once she did the eyes, I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, I know him very well. I'm like,
okay.
That might have been like one of your like either like gaming friends from Twitch, but I was like, what is with the demon emoji? Is he just trying to fuck with you?
No. It's cool. Okay. But yeah, before we got married, we were I invited her over to my uncle's house because we had like a big gathering going on. And we sat there and I was like, I can't with you, Toby. Stop it. I can't with you, Toby.
Oh God.
Probably in more ways than not. But anyways, brought her over and I introduced her to the family, like, hey, this is, my fiance. This is my fiance. And, planning on getting married. And so, introduced her and everything else. And everybody's like, hey, who are you? And she told her name and everything else. Like, okay, cool, great. So as time rolled on, of course, my family, they know me personally. They've known me for the longest. They were pretty much grilling her with questions and like, what are your intentions and what do you want to do and blah, 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 blah. And it was a lot. It was a lot. And so when it was almost time for us to get married and whatnot, she kind of asked me, she's like, I don't think your family likes me like that. Like, no, it's okay. You are basically like an outsider coming in. And so they want to make sure that you are good or a good match for me. Nothing disrespectful at all. They just want to make sure that once I get married, that I'm going to be in good hands because my family, yes, exactly. That's exactly what it was. because again, like I said, they've known me. They've seen me grow up. They've always had this inkling that I was going to marry like someone who was close to the family, anyways. And what I mean by that was one of my aunts was good friends with somebody, and her daughter, her and I had a really good relationship. And they've always kid and joked like, "Oh, one day you two are going to get married," and blah blah blah. We kind of looked at each other, kind of laughed, like, "I don't think so, not really." But as we got older and whatnot, it was kind of like one of those things where like it could have been a very real possibility. It could have, and because things didn't work out, it was totally fine. No, go sit down over there. Go sit down way over there. Go sit down. No, sir. No, sir. Go sit down way over there. You can keep your computer up. Just go sit down way over there. Go sit down way over there. And so, when things didn't happen, because of course, because of course I moved and she moved and everything else. And by the time I came back and whatnot, I was already married. And she came in. She's like, "Oh, this is your wife." Like, yeah. So of course, me and family friend's daughter, I guess, we're kind of just like, we were just cool with each other. We were just cool with each other. And every now and then, if we have like something coming over, and if she does come over, it's nothing weird, it's nothing strange. It's just like cordial. It's like she's a good friend that I have not, that I haven't talked to in a while. What do you mean? What do you mean, Rocky? What do you mean? What do you mean? Because again, like I said, they in a weird way, my family, especially my mom, she always had this way of matching up me and my brother with girls, women that she would approve of. Not something that we would approve of, but more so that she would approve of. It was almost as if she wanted to do this arranged marriage, but it was like, nah, not going to happen. Because if the person who you pick is someone that you like, but I don't like, we're going to have an issue, because I'm going to tell you like why I don't like this person. Like, ain't no way. This is not going to happen. No, not at all. No. Okay. Gotcha. No. She was good. Because even then, even with us celebrating 14 years, they're like, yeah, you made a good choice. You probably would have made a better choice by you choosing versus, anybody else choosing. Because even then, my uncle, highly respected, not just within the family, but within the community itself, highly respected. Even then, he pulled me aside. He was like, he said, "I ain't saying nothing. I'm not going to toot my horn. I will let her, if she wants to chime in, that is full-fledged on her if she's in here." And there you go. There he goes. But
Yeah.
Oh boy. It's so
I won't even say it's just hookup culture. It's just due to just the nature of everything. Like, hookup culture is definitely one aspect of it. Dating apps, which in a way gets tied into hookup culture. but it's more so like giving the false belief that there's like an endless amount of choices,
Right.
and there's not.
Right.
And yeah, it's sad. It's sad out there. Yeah.
Rocky.
True.
Okay. I'm gonna let y'all slide. I'm gonna let y'all slide. I'm gonna let y'all
It's
slide.
fun that she's here.
I'm gonna let y'all slide. But I mean, she's been here. That's the crazy thing about it. She's been here.
Yeah, but like, yeah, but this is like the first. Now that we know who she is, and like as she's participating, it's like it's fun.
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
we love you too.
Yes. Yes. Oh man. I lost my train of thought.
Oh.
I lost my train of thought.
Whatever. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find. Catch me a catch. Going full
Nope.
fit.
Good. You are good, Chad. You are good. You ain't got to. Again, rule number one as far as apology goes is only located in Discord. That's the only thing you should be sorry for. If you don't know, I will tag it in Discord and I will pin it so you can always remember what you need to apologize for. That's the only reason why you should apologize. Other than that, we nope. Nope, you go ahead. You be a full fiddler for tonight and every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever day of the week you can fiddle on.
I'm back for the fun. I think. Oh, sorry. Ignore that echo. I'm trying to remember exactly how we got to this point because I mean the conversation's great either way. But I'm trying to remember if there was like an initial question and because I think I had to drop off when I answered my last question, which was kind of like the potluck thing, and then Elle was like she wanted to talk about something, and I'm guessing this whole conversation has been that. I'm gonna need that prompt again or that kind of
okay. So the question was, has there been a time where you invited your date to like a family gathering or a dinner party, as Chad put it, dating etiquette, Toby?
Thank you. Yeah, because I was wondering. Well, I saw the chat questions, like the people were saying in the chat, like bringing someone in the family gathering, and then the roster thing, which I found hilarious. Thank you, Gift Shinobi. Yeah, I was like, actually, the thing I was saying, like when I saw that comment, I was like, ooh, be careful of bringing someone from the roster or inviting roster people to your house for like when you're the host. But it's different if you're bringing them to a family gathering. Unfortunately, yeah, you probably are gonna have to like deal with the questions of, oh yeah, who's that person? Are they gonna be back? Yada yada. Especially in families, you're kind of expected to be more serious, and you're expected to be more, oh, if you're bringing someone, this is gonna be the person, like the person you're gonna marry. Like there was like an uncle, and when I say uncle, I mean, we're not related at all, but Africans be Africans, and so this person's your uncle. And so there was someone who I'd been friends with on Facebook, and I met them some point when I was in college. Like they came to stay at our house for some time, and I was home for the holidays around that time. So I ended up seeing him. He was only there for a few days, but I saw him. We had a whole conversation, and he was like, "Oh, that girl that was on your Facebook. I thought you were gonna marry that girl." And I was like, "Oh no, it was just a good friend from high school. Well, good friend. We're not good friends on Facebook anymore, but at the time." We were pretty cool. She was my Facebook profile picture for a little bit. Like we had a graduation picture together, and she was, not like it was a big deal, but she was a white girl, whatever. And so I feel like there were people who probably would be like, oh, who's this person? Especially if you're African and the person's not also of the same background. It depends. I shouldn't say that's 100% the case, but I know that it's so interesting because this uncle is like, oh yeah, I thought you were gonna marry that girl who was on your Facebook, and I was like, no, this is just a friend. I thought you were gonna marry the girl. Oh my goodness, we weren't even dating. We never talked. It wasn't even anything like that. So I feel like if you actually bring someone to like Thanksgiving, then it's gonna be a whole thing of like Thanksgiving or any other family gathering. It could be a cookout. It could be a function. And I haven't really had many friends I haven't brought many friends to my house who were like of the opposite sex. Like I haven't had many female friends over. It's usually been okay. I haven't had many friends over. So especially not for like a family thing where it's like, hey, can I bring a +1? Maybe there'll be a friend who comes over just to hang out. But usually it was in the midst with other friends, guy friends. There was one time one girl came and she did like maybe she was interested in me, but like at the time, it was. We were not exactly talking. It was more of just like, she kind of told me how she felt about me. She had just broken up with a guy, so we weren't really gonna like, and I was also way too busy to really even date at the time. But this is my senior year of college. She happened to be from the town that I live in, even though she was like a year or two younger. I think she's a year younger than me. So, so she was like, hey, maybe we can hang out. She did come over, and like. I had family there. They met my family, and then very shortly after we left to go like elsewhere. So we were, I think she drove, so she literally came to my place, and then she left my place. Andrea, hey, a good friend of mine. Awesome.
There you go.
So yeah, I don't think I got really many questions with this girl. This girl, she was Nigerian who came to my place. And then we left anyway to go like hang out with some other people, but like definitely questions, the gears start turning, and so that's a big thing. I've had other friends bring guests, but they weren't really opposite sex. They were usually the same. Especially like if it was my sisters, maybe bringing their female friends, and so no, Chad, you don't understand though because actually I'm trying to remember if at that time that had happened already. Yeah, but it was very clear that nothing was going to happen between us anyway. And she was already kind of interested in some other guys anyway. It just happened that it kind of came out. We maybe had a little few cuddles, but nothing crazy. We didn't even kiss. It was just like we chilled a little bit. And yeah, at some point, since we lived in the same town, and it was a town that's not at all close to, or like it's an hour and a half from Baltimore in Southern Maryland. So if you happen to live in that town, it's kind of like, oh my God, we both live in this town. Like, so it was like, hey, let's just hang out now that we're better friends. And it's not like it was a family event. It was like not many people were even at home. I don't even know if my dad was there. My mom might have been. All I remember was that she met my oldest sister, and that was really it. But it is kind of funny thinking back on it, Chad, especially the way you say it. It's like, oh, yikes. I guess I kind of did bring someone of that caliber. But it's also been hard because now I live on my own in Massachusetts. I mean, right now I'm in Maryland in my parents' house, but like I don't live here anymore. So even if I was like talking to people up in Mass, I don't have any kind of like family. Like it's a very separate thing. So it would have to be kind of like really serious, I feel like, if I'm going to have someone from way out of state that I'm going to bring back to Thanksgiving in Maryland. Like that's a whole different ballgame. Unless they just happen to be a good friend of mine who happens to live here. But it'd be kind of weird for me to bring them if they have their own family and their own friends, So I think it's hard to do very casually. It could be one of those, hey, they really don't have anywhere to go. It's college. Maybe they can't go back home because it's too short of a break, or maybe there's a snowstorm. If it's really bad, you can kind of come up with excuses for why you might need them to like have Thanksgiving at your place. But I couldn't imagine just casually doing that, especially not in my big age. My big age now, almost 30 years old, and not explaining who these people are. Let me look through some of this chat.
You don't want to look at this chat, Toby. You don't want to look. You don't want to. You don't want to.
No, I'm behind.
You don't want to. I'm trying to protect you, sir. You don't want to smoke right now.
This is no recommend to use a toy. What's happening?
Again, Toby, you don't want to smoke right now. Not right now, bro. Not right now. We can stay eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize, Toby. Eyes on the prize, Toby. Don't even say, hey, yo, just eyes on the prize.
Listen, the chat is the integral part of this experience.
Oh, my gosh. Why?
Oh, Ron. It's always spicy over here. What you talking about? We can never.
Yeah. It's always spicy. It's always spicy. Somebody always brings up Demon Time. And whenever somebody brings up Demon Time, that's when it's just like, the whole chat just does a whole nosedive in this free fall, and everybody's just happy, and nobody's worrying about where it is.
That's so interesting, Liz, though, because I have heard about that where people who, they were dating someone for a long time, or they were married, and then now they're like, screw it, I'm just gonna sleep around. And I don't know. I guess I haven't met a lot of people who I am in the same friend, like, because normally I would think of someone who's like in their 40s or 50s, like that's so far removed. You could be, sorry to say, but like a parent or an aunt. But now it's kind of interesting being a young professional myself and hearing from people who basically are re-entering the dating market in their 30s, in their 40s, and even in their 50s. And it's like, oh, that's interesting. Because I just assume that you get married and you just stay married, or if you divorce, you get married again. You're not necessarily re-entering the market in this age. And so that's interesting to kind of hear that, like, yeah, you might think of sleeping around, and then you kind of have a network of people who are, in those, and I'm not saying old because it's not really old, but it's not like you just turned as an adult. You didn't even just turn 30. So it's interesting kind of like hearing people who have been through life, been married for over 20 years, 30 years, who are now coming back, and they're kind of like, screw it, I'm a be a free agent and get in the market. But a little bit tangential to, I mean, it's a great conversation, but Lord knows that I would go on too much of a tangent away from the original topic.
Yep, because here we go.
It's a pleasure. And of course, hey,
I mean, this is true. This is true. This is true. This is true.
Food is one of those ways. Eating food. Lowell, Massachusetts friends, I'm looking at you. I'm coming for y'all because I used to hang out with all my friends in Lowell, and I used to get all this food. But then I moved out of Lowell earlier this year, and I still have those good friends, but I don't really like engage with them the same way. And so the way we used to have like a lot of food, not really parties, but just like hangouts, is kind of gone. So I'm coming for y'all. Like when I come back, now that I got my car, sorry, I didn't really get to announce this, guys, but I guess I'm very casually breaking the news. I got my car delivered to me after like 2 weeks of nonsense. Yeah, technically more, but my sales guy gave me the car on Friday. I'll send a video in the Discord because I took a quick snap of it. I didn't get a real full body picture like I wanted because my sales guy was literally delivering it to me, and I just was very quickly like, Snapchat. So it's a really beautiful.
Oh, it's on Snapchat?
Well, this is from a week ago. Like I posted it Friday of last week, or Friday of, I guess, like 4 days ago, but it's been disappeared. But I can send Ron. I'll post it in the Discord though for everyone. And it's not like, the best quality video, but thank you, Andrea. I appreciate it. You're definitely gonna get to see it. Everyone is gonna get to. I'm gonna have to be careful how much I start driving because Lord knows it already has a lot of miles on it. And last time I had my old car, I really used that thing like to the point of just like, okay, let me like. I mean, things are meant to be used. It's not like I'm gonna just buy the car and do nothing with it, but I'm gonna try to be wise about how I use it. But no, especially if I leave Boston by May of next year, I'm going to be going places. I'm driving to Vermont. I'm driving to Maine. I need to go back to Providence. I'm going to be hanging out without feeling so like constricted and so stressed out by like rental cars and Uber. Oh, I'm so happy. The Bugatti. Yes. Or the song I like to reference is Maserati. I had to remember who sang it, but it's an Afrobeat song. If you look up "Hop in My Maserati,"
it's clean as a room. Oh,
I'm dead. Yeah, I'm gonna find some time. It's called "In My Maserati," but my Maserati arrived. It's a Hyundai Elantra, but it's a pretty beautiful car. It has like red lights. I didn't even realize it has like red headlights. It's a black car, very sleek, very posh. 2020 vehicle, so it has like all the bells and whistles that I really need,
Oh,
including
come on, Toby.
heated mirror and heated seats. But I actually don't have heated wheel, which is probably more important. Well, heated mirrors are important, but heated wheel is probably more important than heated seats. Anyway, so I said all that to say something. Oh yeah, I'm coming for y'all next, and I'm gonna get back to eating because I have a lot of friends who have offered, been like, "Oh, if you want me to come over and cook, I'll make mussels or whatever, I'll hang out." And I've never been able to take them up on it just because things have been so crazy and chaotic. If y'all have been following my life story, things have been nonstop. I feel like since I moved, even before I moved, since I basically had my car totaled. So now I have one kind of net pressure off my neck a little bit. And then I can worry about other things, other important things like getting women to cook for me again or clean for me. And as Rocky, or who is that just said that? Gift Shinobi. So I think another interesting thing, and this is a little tangential, like I am trying to connect what I'm saying to the topic, but like if you invite people who don't have rides, that can be a little tricky. And there's a lot of people I know who don't have cars, good friends of mine who don't. And if you live in the same area, people can carpool. But if you live like I do, 30 minutes away from a lot of these people, it's like, how do you kind of expect people to come to your place? Maybe you just don't have to put that burden on yourself. And I think that's the right answer. But oftentimes I can feel a little like guilty or a little like, oh, should I invite this person if I know they can't come? I'll invite them anyway, but I'm kind of like, hey, I know you won't live that close and you don't have a car, but boom. And hopefully people can figure out the carpool situation. But when I was in high school, when I graduated, I actually remember giving people rides. I didn't have a license. I didn't have a car, but my dad helped drive some of my friends to my grad party. And Toby is a gift to women. His biggest regret is not having enough time for them all. Basically.
Yikes.
You say yikes. I appreciate you, seriously. But the funny thing about this is that like people will joke that I'll be late to my own wedding because it is what it is. My tendencies of being on time, and so I've already been late to my own parties before. Like things that I've hosted, I've been late to because I've had to go either help pick people up, coordinate things, or people somehow got the wrong information. Anyway. I had the other thing is it's time to show up. That's another part of dinner etiquette. We already know how Black Africans and Caribbeans be. No one shows up on time. I've invited my white friends and Asian friends. My Asian friends showed up early. I was like, what are you doing? My white friends would show up basically right on time. And I'm like, stop it. Like, no one's supposed to show up right on time. I'm not ready. So why are you doing this?
What was funny was like last year for my Halloween party, I think like the start time was at 7. And like me and my friends were like still like we were like making sushi and like still preparing it and like nobody was dressed or ready or anything. Then like my friend, who at the time was like kind of like my crush, he shows up exactly on time. And like he's Caribbean. I think he's like Virgin Islands. And it was just kind of like, wait, what? He was like, hey, it's supposed to start at 7. Or I'm like, yeah. It's like, how come no one's dressed? It's like, because it's 7.
I get it. I get you.
It was like, I was like, okay, I don't know how I feel about this guy now. How is he going to come right on time for a party?
Oh, snap.
That's a turn off. You're like, oh, I don't know about this one.
I was like, he's so cute though, but what's going on?
So you tried showing up to his thing, and you thought you showed up on time to his thing, or was it?
No, he showed up. He showed up on time to my party.
Okay. I agree with you.
I was like,
I don't know about this one.
Yeah, I'm like, I was like, it was great seeing him, and like, it's like, okay, he's a timely guy, but like, I thought it was just universally known to like not show up to a party exactly on time.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're not doing your own destiny. That would be
Yeah. No, that's funny though.
Yeah. A grace
This
period.
one.
30 minutes. It's true. Right. Exactly. Like if you say like 7:00, they show up at like 7:30.
Yeah.
It's like the earliest because it's like if you show up at 7:30, this is like, okay, this is your first stop party. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be here, for like an hour or two and vibe and then go to, the other place. Yeah, but I don't know. I also well, no, he didn't like stay the entire time. He stayed for a long time though.
Okay, so he actually, because some people show up early and then dip like relatively early, but okay, props to him to still like be there for some time. Because I'm sure like he basically watched everyone else enter the party. Did other people come that early, or was he like the only one who was just sitting there for like 30 minutes before the first person showed up?
No, like people showed up pretty much soon after, like because I also didn't have a speaker. So I asked like all of my friends to bring a speaker. So I kept like having to like connect speakers and disconnect and reconnect. So okay, this is a better speaker. Okay, this is an even better speaker. Okay, this is the best speaker.
Wow.
It was.
There you go.
It was it was fun though, because I also told some of my friends like, hey, can you bring like camper chairs, like these back here, like these Coleman like little beach chairs, because I had like no patio furniture.
No.
So,
that's like
I have more patio furniture now. It's still just chairs though, but not these chairs. I actually have chairs outside, but they're all free. Like my neighbor was getting rid of them. Like literally, it was probably like the day or a couple of days after my Halloween party too. I was like, really? Why didn't you just get rid of them sooner? I needed these. But yeah, it was fun though.
Yeah,
hey, ghetto moments. Bring good memories.
Yes.
No, that's true. That's true. The struggle memories. There was a friend who I gave he had like a little little birthday thing, a high school friend, nothing crazy, and his family was there, I'm pretty sure. But I literally gave him like a gift of I don't remember if it was $20. It may have been more, but basically I was like, and I didn't think too much of it because we were kind of joking around. He was a very joking guy, and we were pretty cool. So I gave him maybe a 20, and I was like, actually though, I need 10 back. And he just burst out laughing, and he was like, "You're the only person I would let do some crap like that." So I literally gave him a gift of $20 or maybe $40, and I was like, "Actually, I need 10 back, please." And I wasn't even trying to make a huge joke, but looking back, that is the most cringe thing to give someone money and be like, "I need cash back," actually, because I didn't mean to give you this 20. But this guy was serious. This guy literally was one of the class clowns nominated for our school. So I'm he found it funny, but I'm like, ooh, yikes! It's actually a thing that I could have done in any other setting. It would have been very weird.
That's funny though. That is so funny. Yeah. That is so funny. I actually wanted to give you $10, but how the ATMs are set up, you can't really do that.
Yeah.
Yo. That
is funny. That is so funny.
There's a lot of gold mines here in these comments, man.
Yes, they are.
So we did talk about the dishes being passed around, potluck dishes, bringing dates, which is a great question. I didn't even think about that one before. Yeah,
I mean, that you both times when you guys were talking family cold. Yeah, it's what the hell?
Yeah, no, I've literally been there before, where it's oh, if I don't take this, well, I'm never gonna get the chance to speak. So I'm just let me do that real quick. I've been there. I'm never get the chance to speak to them, man. I think an interesting thing. Okay, the cookout. Oh, actually, Ron, you had an epiphany, and I'm curious to hear what your epiphany question thing was.
Well, let's see. L, did you want to answer your own question before we switch and whatnot, or not?
Good call. Good call.
I don't know. Like whenever family, like my siblings would like bring somebody or so, like it wasn't. And granted, it wasn't like that many people. Like I've had like a guy friend come and like visit during Thanksgiving once,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's been like the only time. So like I feel like my family members all kind of like know of him, and so like he's like this was well over 10 years ago. Like now probably like 19 or 18. I don't know. I was young as hell.
Mm-hmm.
So like the only guy that my family kind of knows about, because I'm not really like like serious. I never really like seriously dating anybody enough enough to like bring over to my family. So I don't want them to like mention, oh, how's so and so. Like, no, he's not a real person. So, like,
He's not a real person.
He's not a real person.
He's a feat of your imagination. I love it.
No, don't bring him up again. So it's like it's best to just not talk about guys I'm dating, especially because like the dating scene is hard. So it's like unless I'm engaged, I am single.
There you go.
Anyway, so
he's not canon.
He's not canon. He was like some filler episode. Filler. But yeah, like if like my if any of like my siblings would like bring someone, like it would have to be like someone super serious.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel as though because there's so many of us, like, and just like my siblings, like there's a lot of like cousins too, and aunts and uncles. So like if you were to just like bring somebody, then like you're not even that serious with that person, the next year you come back and you're alone, people be like, oh, who was that guy, or like who was that girl, or whatever, depending on the family member. And that's just to hear that over and over and over again from like 50, 60 people, like that would just totally be endless. And those are just a filler. Yeah, just an in-betweener, just an in-between guy.
Betweener. Have you seen those like? Sorry, actually, I'll continue.
Oh yeah. Then I'm trying to think, like, I feel like though, if it's like my siblings bringing someone, like this person has to be serious. If it's just going to be like an intimate group of just my siblings, like my family, but that doesn't happen too often though. Trip to the hot springs or a ball game before starting a new arc in life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord, no. But yeah, I mean that's I guess my thing. Like they would have to definitely like bring a dish or bring something. That's just rude. Like I hate it. Like personally, I don't like it when somebody comes to my house, and I think I mentioned this, like someone who comes to my house for the first time and doesn't like it just shows up empty-handed. Like you can't bring like a bottle of wine or like some beer or anything. Even like a frozen pizza, like nothing. It's just
it's not the journey, it's the struggle.
Right. some graham crackers that were just like in your pantry that you just never ate. Like, yeah, let's bring some graham crackers. Maybe she'd want it.
So at that point, maybe just nothing would be better.
It's not serious until the beach arc ends. I mean, I'm in South Florida. Like sometimes that's how the arc starts. It's at the beach. But
yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, like when you think, it's funny to think on it because it's like, oh, you're on a date with somebody and you go to the beach. It's like, yeah, we're just half naked. But I guess you got to say what you're working with.
It's interesting. I've never done like a date to the beach. I've invited people to the beach who I hadn't quite met yet, who maybe I had met from like a dating app, but usually it was like for other events, kickbacks happening. And even like beach hangouts were kind of like mixed. Like they never were so much super one-on-one. They were more like, hey, do you want to meet at the beach for this other thing? But that is such an interesting way of like, yeah, we're at the pool or the beach and we're half naked, the sun's glistening, we're, in the most compromising of positions. Hey.
It wouldn't be like a first date, even though of course guys have mentioned like there's been probably like one or two guys like on dating apps saying like, do you want to go to Hullover Beach? And for those of you who don't know, Hullover Beach is the nude beach here. It's like, no, why would I fucking go to a nude beach on the first date? Weird.
That's yikes.
I've done things in beaches and that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I've never done it. I'm not really keen on ever trying, to be honest. I'd rather try a car first. Well, give me the red car sex. I'm like, nope.
You're not missing much.
I mean, hey, I just bought a car, so I mean, we're about to figure things out. We're about to figure things out with that one.
I mean, it is your car, so as long as you keep up on the payments, then yeah.
I mean, listen, yeah, a deposit is going to be made somehow, one way or another.
This was a legit typo. I thought she was making a joke of me.
About wait, did you say doobie? Yo, that's back more bad for the. Fair enough. I don't know. The ladies are the one who seem to be the one even bringing it up, like in the context of when, not that they suggested it, but just when you kind of would have curiosity of like, have you tried this? And some of them were like, yeah, I've done it. It's not too bad. In my head, I'm like, oof, that's all types of contorting that I'm not sure I'm eager to try.
Not really. It's like
breaking her back. Yikes.
Not a good time for autocorrect. Sure.
I mean,
driving. Speaking of taking your meals to go.
Like, it's funny because I like shared this YouTube video with mom too, so I'm like, oh, if you're not seeing that.
you said you share the YouTube video with your mom.
Yeah, because she always wants to like know and always forget to like share.
Mm-hmm.
So
I hope that part just went by.
He told me he's like the ladies are always bringing up cars. Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
It's not like they're all bringing it up, but when it's brought up, it's very much with something that somehow came up from their end for the most part.
I guess they're trying to give you a hint.
I actually have to double check. I'm gonna post the video, because I know there's certain legality of tints. It seems like Massachusetts police don't care that much about it, because I know some friends have been like, "Whoa, look at the tint on that," and a lot of people are really into tinted windows. I personally was never like that pressed on it, but maybe you're onto something. Honestly,
I would love to get my windows tinted, but I know here in Michigan, they are very, very conservative when it comes to window tinting. It can't be a certain. They have to be like, what if I don't want you to see in my side of my car? Like, what if I don't want you to see me? Or like, what if I don't want to see you? I don't want to see you put it up on me. Like, I don't. I get a nervous breakdown when I see you in my rearview mirror with my windows untinted anyway. So no, I don't want to see you. I don't even want to be near you. I don't even want to be around you.
Yeah. No, that's real. Like, so many people are like so into it. I never even thought of it, but now I think that I do notice a lot of windows are relatively darker. I'm like, maybe I should get in on the fun.
Wow. Okay.
The melanated car windows.
What? What about the Melanated Car Club? Really?
Yeah, I guess I do wonder what the legality of it is. Like why they're so pressed. Maybe it's because you can't see in, and police need to see, like for seatbelt check-in, for maybe just things that clearly are like maybe alcohol container rules. I don't know. I have to look up why the tents are so frowned upon.
I mean, just because she's being on the topic of sex does not mean she wants to have sex.
Yo, that's actually funny though. The paperclip was definitely the best one though. Color, it's black, all black. To be honest, I didn't know if I wanted a black car because I always used to say it looks too much like I'm a spy. But to be honest, I'm not sure. I think the main problem I have is that it blends in just too easily. Like it's nice to have something distinct, not red, not yellow, but even some types of blue. White is a little too conspicuous. But now I'm actually like I've had multiple black cars for rentals, and I'm like, black cars actually look pretty nice. Even if they do make me look like I'm freaking fed, but it's fine. I mean, technically.
Did you guys freeze? Am I frozen?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay.
No, you're good.
Yeah, you were not moving at all, Ron. Like,
Okay. No, you're good. No, I was
like breathing or blinking at all.
I was reading a news article that I found as far as the window tint law in Michigan, and it sucks.
Okay.
Oh, it sucks. Oh, it sucks. Ha, gotcha. That's what you get.
Yeah, it was just like, Toby was like, he just like suddenly stopped talking, and then Ron just like wasn't moving at all, and I'm like looking around. I was like, oh. I was like, is it me? Because like I sometimes I like the Wi-Fi signal thing acting stupid. I was like, oh no, it's me. And then you were like, no, I'm not frozen, Ron. I was like, what?
No.
And
Wow. Okay.
I was moving slowly.
Yes. All right, Chad. See ya. And I know we got to start wrapping up soon. Start wrapping up soon.
We're right behind you, Chad.
Sheesh. I'm telling you, that's it. That is it. I know the one thing, I think, Toby, you mentioned this either last week or the week before last, where you went to a party and some guy kind of had a fit because he wasn't acknowledged by the host of the party and whatnot. And so, and again, we got like, we're not trying to keep you guys here no longer than what it was, but coincidentally, as far as hosting goes, and I've done this a few times at our place where we hosted like some kind of get together or just whatever in general. The rule of thumb that I've done was whoever crosses the threshold of my door, I will greet them in a manner where they feel welcomed. Now, if they're starting to become hostile and disrupting the flow that's going on, I will have the right to kick them out, irregardless of who you are. You're getting out. And I haven't done that in a while because I had no need to. I had no need to. I had no need to kick nobody out because everybody who has came inside of my home, you know, it was cool, calm, and kosher. So that's one thing. But at the same time, it's like you want to treat others in the same manner of how you want to be treated. And that goes a long way, especially if you're hosting a party, if you're hosting a get together, if you're hosting a dinner party, if you're just hosting something in general or just hosting something, period. Make sure that person or group of people feel welcome. It even doesn't have to be in your house, it could be at a venue. Still, the same rule goes. Make that person, make that individual feel welcome because more than likely they're going to come back and support you regardless of what you're having. It's that first initial reaction. That first initial reaction goes a long way. And then I'm going to close with this. He said something earlier. It's not necessarily me who's going to be doing the routine out of Bad Boys 2. It's going to be my daughter because she doesn't like boys as it is anyway. She finds boys irritating. She does. She finds boys irritating. She finds most girls irritating. And she always acts like, Dad, could you buy me a shotgun? Could you buy me a rifle? Because if and when some boy girl decides to cross that line, I want to shoot them in a spot where they're going to remember. I'm like, I'm okay with that because I might have to join in too. I mean, Rocky, you're not far from the truth, but I mean, yeah, if I have to, sure. Oh, but of course. But if she beats me to the punch, again, if she beats me to the punch, then hey, fair game. And even then, like there's certain people at her school that what was I going to say? There's people at her school that she really does not like and she really can't stand because they've already rubbed her the wrong way. And even then, when it comes to like her cousins, she doesn't play. She will step in, like, you know, hey, look, I'm gonna need you to leave my cousin alone because the next time you hurt my cousin, me and you gonna end up fighting, literally. We will end up scrapping it out, and I don't care if you get hurt or not. You hurt my cousin, I'm not up for it. And even when it comes to some of her friends, sure, she will stick up for some of her friends, but for the most part, she's like, I have no time. I have no, I can't deal with stupidity. I have none. I give none. I'm like, yes.
You know, it takes it right after her dad, taking after daddy.
Yeah,
smart woman, smart girl.
But then again, yes, agreed. Rocky agreed. Yes. Agreed. And here's the thing. Me and my daughter, we will be in the middle of the kitchen talking, and she will punch me in my shoulder with enough force where it's going to rock me back. And so I'm looking at her like, oh, we doing this today. And she starts laughing, and so I punch her back. And we do this often. And then the missus have to step in, like, you know, hey, stop. I'm like, what are you talking about? She did it first. Like, you did it first. Like, I didn't even do nothing.
That's so funny. Like, you go down to her level, like, she started it, slugs her, like, whoa. Like,
yep.
Punches freaking, like,
And as much as I slug her, she slugs me right back with the same. She slugs me back with the same intensity, and we could go back and forth until she's like, you know what, I'm done. I quit. Like, oh, we just got started. She's like, no. She said, Dad, you pushed me in the same spot 3 times, and each time I thought I could take it. Nah, it's not working. Yes, Liz agreed, because anytime I'm working on my car, she's out there with me. Anytime I'm working on my car, she's out there with me. And she just wants to know, like, hey, Dad, what are you doing? Hey, Dad, what are you doing? Hey, Dad, what is this? Why are you doing this or that? Why are you putting this there, here and there? Like, can I help you out? Can I do this? Can I do that? And I'm like, sure, go for it. Like, knock yourself out. If you want to watch me change brakes so you know how to do it on your own car, go for it. You know, the next thing we're gonna probably end up doing is if I can figure out how to do my own oil changes and do that, you're gonna probably watch me do that too as well. So get used to it. And she's like, oh, okay. And then again, like I said, she's right there. She's right there. So it's going to be a fun. Yes. Oh, yes. Agreed. She's smart as a whip. She is smart as a whip.
Sounds like it.
Smart as a whip. But I will tell you this much. She will throw hands. She may not look like it, but she will throw hands. She will throw hands. She's like her mama in her younger days. She will throw hands. Yes.
Try Jesus. Don't try me.
That's our family song. Like, hey, yeah.
Try Jesus.
Your wife said that she acts like you. Don't try to.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna say Cap.
That's Cap.
I'm gonna say. Literally, it is funny. I love it. I love it. Like I said, I'm done because I know we got to get done soon and we got to jump off soon. And it's midnight. And
on the East Coast.
And I'm still on the East. I'm still on the East Coast. I am still here on the East Coast.
Yes.
I'm 7 hours from home. I'm not that far from home.
No.
Not Tom Holland.
Like I said, it's something, and even then, like I got to get ready to put Tree up. I could get ready to start cooking in this kitchen and all this other good stuff, help the missus out. Like there's a lot. Even though we don't have nobody coming over, still it's the process of getting the food ready together and whatnot. Yeah. But I'm done. Toby, Toby, take care.
I mean, no, I think this is really well rounded. We touched a lot of the bases, and obviously it's perfect timing for a few days for people to, get ready for our Thanksgiving. I don't know what lessons we're taking out of this, but good luck. Good luck with all of it. Good luck, Elle, because you're hosting.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know how I'm gonna manage to come through, grab a plate, and go to my own family's Thanksgiving, but we're gonna. Away.
Yes, you too.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thanks so much for hanging.
For stopping by. Great to meet more of the fam. I know Ron, your son, before would sometimes jump on way back.
Yes. Yes, he would.
So it's always great. Thank you.
Yes, you too.
Likewise.
Yes.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yes. Oh, yep. Come on. You can get some hugs in here. You can get some loves in here too. Yep.
Yeah.
You gonna get these hearts. You gonna get these hearts.
And also to all the lurkers and the people who couldn't make it today. We know we love
you as
well.
Yes. Oh, good night, everyone. Have a happy Thanksgiving. And see y'all next week.
Yes. Next week will be the last week of the month, the last week of food. If y'all got ideas, feel free to put it in the Discord. We also have our own brainstorming. So
yes,
cannot wait to wrap up a great month and soon a great year with all of you.
Yeah. Ooh, yes.
Yeah. So
also,
yeah, what's up?
I was just gonna say happy birthday again to Ron. I feel like he was always so slick with it. This man's so slick with it. Last year it came and went like a ghost, like a thief in the night. And so I was like, I'm not missing his birthday this year. So I had to do a little bit of stalking, but I found it on Facebook from not even. It wasn't even on your Facebook listed. I had to like look up. You can do a search feature on someone's wall. So I looked up birthday, and then eventually saw people posting it in past years. I was like, okay, I could have asked, but I was like, nah. I'm gonna find the day actually this time.
And you could just gone to his about me stuff in his profile on Facebook.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he had it listed. The actual
okay. I was like, why didn't he just do? Okay.
Unless it was there and I just missed it, then yikes. But at least I used my PI skills, I guess.
There you go. There you go. It is A-okay. It is A-okay. But no, I appreciate it. Even then, I still gotta get logged in on Facebook and tell everybody thank you for all the birthday wishes.
I always struggle with that too.
Yeah. So, oh boy, because I got a lot. Plus, it's from friends from like middle school and high school, elementary school, and all over who wish me happy birthday. So, and family and whatnot. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm done. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes.
Yeah.
Of course. I hope it was a good one. I hope you weren't sick. It sounded like someone in the beginning was talking about being sick. I don't know if that was you, Ron. The chat was talking about you. Yeah. So hopefully it wasn't too terrible. I know you struggled, I think, in 2020 from COVID, or some year it was really, really bad. But around the time that I had it, that was tough.
Yeah. But we could talk about that in Discord because sheesh. Like this year now is rough. But again, we'll talk about it a little bit more in Discord and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
all right, y'all.
you want to take us out of here?
Yeah. Given the sad responsibility to me, I see. But we do have to run, everyone. Of course, thank you all for staying up with us.
Yes.
Or until 9 p.m. on the West Coast.
Yes.
As always, see y'all next week. Have a great Thanksgiving. And we'll come back next week with another topic about food.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Be well.
Bye.
Be well. Bye.